with a hamstring injury. The projected number 1 pick in the NBA draft finished with 22 points in a loss to North Carolina back on November 7th in his most recent action. In the NBA, Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo will miss 1 to 2 weeks with a low-grade groin strain. Giannis left last night's loss to the Cavs in the first quarter, off to one of the best starts of his career, averaging just under 33 points on 63% shooting, 11 rebounds and 7 assists per game through his first dozen of the season. In the NFL, Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers dealing with a small fracture in his left wrist that will not require surgery. Head coach Mike Tomlin did not rule him out for Sunday's game against the Bears. Mason Rudolph potentially in line to start if Rodgers can't go.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Kennedy. Coming on Wednesday, the Chiefs are currently outside of the playoffs, so have they lost their aura, and can they get it back? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Happy Tuesday. It is November 18th here on 1430 ESPN Fresno on the airwaves here. Good to be here. Good to be alongside you, and good to be chatting sports for the next 3 hours of radio. We're excited to bring it to you. Of course, excited to bring it to you as always here on this wonderful afternoon. Good to be staying dry for the first time. I can say that for the first time in a few days now, after that crazy rain stuff that was going on there. Big thanks to Tony D for tossing it to us from the previous hour. Tony D shows Sportsline Bulldog Hour with Tony D from 2 to 3 p.m. on the weekdays, which you can listen to on 1430 ESPNFresno.com and on the ESPN Fresno app. You can listen to his show, my show, and Paul Metter's show, the Central Valley Sports Report, which is from 10 a.m. to noon on Saturdays. You can listen to my show, Behind the Bench, on 1430 from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., which is where we will go today. 3 full hours of the show. If you want to get involved in the show, of course, Lee's Air Hotline is the way to reach us. Lee's Air Hotline, 559-320-1430, the way to reach our show. 559-320-1430, the way to reach our show. Lee's Air Weather Check, sitting at 57 degrees right now here in the Central Valley. Could get up to 58 as the high. Relatively cloudy today. Could see some sunshine tomorrow. We did see a little bit of sunshine today. Sunshine tomorrow in the afternoon. Relatively same temperatures, though, 59 degrees. Could see some rain Thursday, a little bit of a mid-afternoon shower, maybe midday shower by Thursday afternoon. But after that, it should clear up Friday, 58. Saturday, sunny and 60. Should be great weather for the final home game of the Fresno State season. And relatively, we'll be sitting around the high 50s, low 60s for the foreseeable 10-day forecast. What do we have on the docket today? Like I said, a couple guests on the show. We're going to have Dylan Morgan from KC24 join us in the second hour. He'll be joining us at 4:20 p.m. talking Fresno State ball and all the topics surrounding this team with 2 weeks to go. In the 5 o'clock hour, you know him, Asa, in the afternoons, will join us. We'll do a 5 at 5. We'll have some other fun ideas with the show here today. And then other staple Tuesday segments, which we'll have, the Bonatti Blitz, the Daily Spread, all of that great stuff is going to be coming at you, talking Fresno State, talking NFL, talking all things that we can kind of settle into for this 3-hour escapade that we call a show. All right. Good to be here, like I said. Good to be here with a couple of great people as well who are on the producing side of the other glass. Reminder that they've got the live stream going right now on ESPN Fresno on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We got Tanvir and Daniel who are on the show today. And guys, good to have you on this Tuesday. How are we doing on this Tuesday?
Doing good. I was looking forward to a lot of things over the weekend, and most of them were pretty good. UFC, the UFC event was pretty good for the most part, except for the last two fights.
I heard about that.
And then, college football this weekend was good. The Niners won. The World Cup qualifiers have been great. So overall, yeah, I'm looking pretty good right now.
How are we doing, Daniel?
We're doing pretty good. Besides Saturday, got soaked, but all my teams won. It was just a great weekend getting to watch.
You're braver than most, I would say. So you went to the game on Saturday?
No,
you did something different. Never mind.
I thought you were. I wish I did. I would have loved to be out there.
Were you working outside on a Saturday just because of the rain and everything like that?
They had me getting carts.
Oh my
brutal.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Should have paid you double on that.
I wish.
Well, it's good to be here. Good to see you guys after, we had the Monday reaction side of things. We'll get into that Raider game last night real quick. But I wanted to point out something real quick here on this show. It astounds me. It astounds me sometimes the lack of awareness some people have in life. As they move through life sometimes and just are blissfully unaware of who is around them sometimes. And let's be honest, we are a team. We like to call ourselves a team here. Although, let's be fair, there's a little bit of a competition going on right now on Instagram between some of our producing bodies
I heard
here.
it's over.
It may have wrapped up. I don't know. Whatever results are results. You can go on Instagram and find that out. I'm not about to boast to whoever, whatever.
I'm not either. It's just an old man yelling at clouds moment.
Certainly.
But whatever. We roll with it.
Well, maybe we could be more of a team now because it was apparently through when did school start for you, Daniel? School started in August, correct?
Yeah, in August.
And we are in November?
Yes.
And you find out through, I don't know what kind of circumstance, that your person you've been working with here at the station via an internship has been in your class the entire time, and you just found out, literally, was it yesterday?
Yes, yesterday.
Literally yesterday, you find out you're working with Chloe. And you find, well, you knew you've been working with Chloe. You've been working on the social media posts and all that great stuff. And you've been talking and texting and all that kind of stuff. You guys are a team. You're lock and step and all that stuff. And yet you do not know that you two have been in a class together for 3.5 bleeping months of school. My goodness, is this generation cooked?
Hey, to be fair, I didn't know what she looked like.
Okay.
She could have been anybody.
She could have been anybody.
Mystery woman.
So you didn't watch the live streams of any of the Friday shows? You had no curiosity of who Chloe was? You just knew of her through a text situation and through maybe, I don't even know if you talked to her in the voice department as well. I don't know what I break down the experience of just finding this out, because to me it's like your life has changed. Like it's like a Kaiser Sose moment of just like, oh my, they were in the room the entire time. They were here and I was texting him. And let's be fair, you guys have been working well together. But I got to imagine it was quite an experience yesterday when you both talked.
Yeah, so because we were doing some group work and like I could hear like ESPN being mentioned over and over, and I'm like, hold up. And like they kept saying her name. Her name's Chloe, and I'm like, I just had to like give it a second. And so I was texting in the group chat. Next thing you know, like she picked up her phone like immediately, and I'm like, oh, that's her. And then because on Canvas it lets you see all the people in the classroom. And so, because her full name is on the text.
How do you not see Chloe Sills is in your classroom? You just not look at the entire school class roster. It's 25 people.
This is the most idiotic, insane moment of this show since he's been here. There's been a lot of idiotic moments.
I'm not saying you're not to blame, because no. Chloe's got the equal blame.
Half and half blame.
Because
indeed.
let's be fair, they should see where Daniel's name is and be like, maybe that's the Daniel I've been texting back and forth when we're creating the social media posts, all the Student Athlete of the Week stuff. Maybe I have an inkling that this is the Daniel I've been talking to this entire semester and working with. And now, I don't know. It's been peeled from your eyes as far as what you've seen, and I feel like you're moving through life in a whole different perspective.
Dude,
now.
this whole situation is the meme of like the monkey with the brain, and
Yeah.
it's like neuron activation. This is exactly what this is.
And you know what's funny? I swear you guys have been on a show together before this.
No.
And I just didn't even realize. I assume you all have met each other in some form or fashion.
I've met Sergio.
Yeah.
I've never met her till yesterday.
So this is what's blowing my mind, because in my life I'm seeing you guys all like together basically through the week, and I just assume you all know who each other are. And maybe that's a fault of mine, because I probably should have had you guys at least meet each other before you started this semester of interning. But here we are now, and we're into November, a week before Thanksgiving, and you guys are just finding out about what you even just look like, which is hilarious to me. It's insane. It's like if I just met Jorge yesterday in terms of what it was, and I had no idea because I thought he worked at a different place. I don't know. So I'm reeling from that. Like I said, this generation's cooked. This is where it is, and I'm sorry. I just had to point it out that way. You know, but let's be fair. Maybe we'll talk about something of people who maybe feel like they're meeting each other for the first time, because this Raiders team looks like they're playing for the first time together as well last night. And boy, what a shellacking from the Cowboys. I wouldn't even call it close. There was a late touchdown on the back end of things in terms of it. But outside of this, I wonder if it is this the worst case scenario start for this Raiders side to go? What we're at 2-8 now. Is that where we're at as far as the record is concerned? The offense looks futile. There's a lot of major holes to it, a lot of major things to fix. Pete Carroll's come in with what we thought was an identity as a coach to believe that he could turn like a culture around in some form or fashion. The Raiders seem to make more mistakes than anybody in football, which is just continuing to be par for the course for the Raiders. I don't know if there's a perception of Pete Carroll just doesn't have a grip on what this team is able to do right now on both sides of the football, but it just seems like there is no grasp on what this football team can do well through 10 games of this National Football League season, and I would consider it one of the worst teams in football. Frankly, if it wasn't for the Titans who exist, I think the Raiders could be in the argument of worst team in the National Football League right now. Is this as worst case scenario for Pete Carroll to start this era, knowing, he is up there in age? We know the clock is ticking for a guy like this when it comes to how long his tenure can be and what he can do to turn it around. But this is as bottom of bottom for this Raiders team, who has been to the bottom. I didn't think they could race to the bottom even further, but this seems as worse as it has been since that 2021 playoff run, what felt like a distant 4 years ago.
Right. It is clearly the issue that they don't have an offensive identity. You trade away Jacoby Myers because, you want to build for the future. You have Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, who are 2 first-round draft picks that are weapons, and you think that the lack of offensive line is going to just fix itself. I think it's similar to where the Houston Texans are at on their offensive side, where they think they can just patch up things on the offensive side of the ball through the weapons, except they have a really, really good defense, and this Raiders defense is absolutely horrendous. So this is the same record they were at last year through 10 games. They were 2-8, and now they're 2-8 again, but I think this year's 2-8 has been far worse, because if you look at last year's 2-8, they went to Baltimore and won a game, and this year you have wins against Tennessee and at New England in week 1, which is terrible.
Whatever that was.
But yeah, it's terrible. They're third worst in success percentage on offense. Like 40% of their plays are successful. That's only ahead of the Tennessee Titans, and the team they're playing this week, which is the Cleveland Browns. They have an absolutely terrible offense in the running game. And this is, where the lack of offensive line help really has hit them. Yes, they have had a bit of an injury bug on that front, but it is a terrible start for Pete Carroll. He has not been able to change this organization like we thought it would a little bit, and it's going to take another year, I think, of drafting and picking up assets to kind of make this team even relevant. I just think they're irrelevant right now.
I mean, is there patience for Pete Carroll to stick around that long for to see that rebuild and finally reap the reward of it? Like, we build this hire as something that is, well, okay, it's a guy who can get the most of what he has out of his roster, and I would largely say this team has not utilized that ability to get the most out of what they had. Like, I think Ashton Jeanty has looked worse than what he has looked in college in terms of it, and we could make the argument that he has not lived up to his end of the billing. You are more of a defender of Jeanty. I know that from the perspective of the offensive line perspective. I also argue on the flip side that there needs to be, I think there needs to be a legitimacy when it comes to when you're drafted 6th overall, that you can make some game-changing ability plays outside of it, not just the offensive line being the sole reason you can't make plays out there. He is getting involved in the passing game, but it's anything special or crazy about it. But when you feel like you could only run your 6th-round draft pick 6 times for 7 yards last night, that is just quite simply not what you need to do with your 6th overall pick from the early draft. So I don't know. It's too early to call Jeanty a bust. I kind of threw it on the sheet just to kind of like spark the conversation, but it is concerning that the Raiders spent on this kind of player when they could have had maybe a different look at what this looked like, and maybe the skill player was, you spent some money on the credit card thinking, oh, I'm going to get this nice thing, and then suddenly these bills come where you got to pay the mortgage, and you got to pay the electric bill, and you got to pay everything else, and suddenly all of a sudden that nice little purchase, that nice car you bought, suddenly doesn't feel so good anymore when you have to get into this kind of debt, and the Raiders are in debt right now. The Raiders are in debt, and it's coming to collect in the National Football League, and maybe I think Jeanty might have been the wrong choice, not because of the fault of Jeanty. It's just the way this team is set up. They probably needed something way different.
And that's where I was going to go. I think this is not a Jeanty issue. And we have a track record now over the last multiple decades where a team goes into they end the season with one of the worst rushing offenses, and adding a running back before offensive lineman generally does not help at all. So I don't think this is a Jeanty issue. This Raiders offense was the worst rush offense last season, and they are the 3rd worst rush offense this season. It's clearly a sign that Jeanty is not going to help them unless they have a competent offensive line. He's 84% of this guy's rushes is after contact. Like, you just cannot have anything like that happen when you're in the running game. And I also think it was personified with that safety last night where, this guy, it's a 1 yard and he gets tackled in the end zone. He doesn't even get outside of the end zone. And so I personally don't think he's a bust. I think if you put Ashton Jeanty on another team, like even if you put him on the Cowboys, this guy is having a career year right now. So, I'm not ready to call him a bust, but I'm clearly on the side that the offensive line needs to get fixed.
I'm thinking like Jeanty, if he was like on Jacksonville or something like that, like what difference the Jaguars team might have a different dimension in terms of it. Or I'm trying to think of the teams down there that were drafting and like what Jeanty could have done.
The Bears were another team that I thought could have gotten Jeanty.
Yeah.
And I think if the Bears were to get Jeanty, that would be a game changer.
Right.
They got Colston Loveland. He's all right, but
yeah. But now you have Jeanty as a Raiders, and that's where you're married to. And it's a kind of an indictment on what the Raiders are doing right now when you draft Jeanty. And I get it, the run game wasn't working, but 84% they dropped back to pass on Monday. You know that the last time they were at 84% or higher in Raiders history at passing the football, it was 2012 against the Tampa Bay Bucks when in Week 9, 13 years ago when it came to the Raiders. So, and they passed 85% of the time. Jeanty's 4 of his 6 attempts rushing gained no yards last night. Incredible to just think of what they wanted to build towards and to what they're trying to be. It just feels like it's oxymoron. It's just so against what they are trying to do and what they think they are capable of doing versus what they're actually doing. It's almost like defying logic how the Raiders are going about their game plans offensively. It's quite insane to kind of think about. And you drop back Geno Smith all the time in terms of it. I mean, the guy is bound to make mistakes as you continue to go through this game. You're allowing yourself to have more opportunities where he's going to throw picks, where he's going to fumble the football, where he's going to get sacked. You allow all those situations to arise, and I wonder if there's a lack of patience from this Raiders squad because they know they can't pass or they can't run block to save their life. They can't pass block to save their life. And this has been a complete, utter roster failure build from the get-go, and I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but it has become this bad through 10 games. It's remarkable they are 2-8.
And if you remember what I was saying last year, the number one thing I said that what the issue was with this Raiders offense is they were passing way too often on early downs and not running the football because their running game was absolutely terrible, therefore putting them in second and third and long on a consistent basis. And I haven't seen a change this year. They are still passing the football incredibly often on early downs. And you saw it in this game. Maybe it is the fact that the Cowboys have a terrible pass defense, and that's why they tried to hit them on the passing game early and often last game. They did it a lot, especially in that first quarter. But I think that this has not helped them at all. I agree with you. This is a terrible roster in general. And what this front office has done is put them in a position where they're in the same place as they were last year, just with one or two more weapons.
And a little more expensive, more money going to your quarterback right now.
Who is, I think, tied for the lead in interceptions. He might be one or two. I don't know if he's behind Tua or he's first.
We'll have to check it. We'll have to check it. Regardless, it's been just terrible from the Raiders. And I don't see it getting any worse anytime soon. Let's take a break. So we're just getting started here. We got the Bonatti Blitz coming up next. We're going to run through that, ranking the games from the week. We got a lot of stuff to get into. So stay with us. Behind the Bench rolls along here on 1430 ESPN.
Craving big flavor? Head to Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Fresno. Bite into the legendary Victory Burger. Dig into the fall-off-the-bone ribs. Or share the ultimate Victory Platter with friends. From those legendary Me and Ed's pizzas to fresh salads, cold drinks, and a warm hometown vibe. Every bite and sip is a win. Watch the game, catch up with friends, or bring the family. Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Granite Park, Fresno. Don't miss ESPN's Major Wager Monday Night Football every week. Come hungry, leave a champion. Victory tastes better here.
The deadline to receive the 30% federal solar tax credit is December 31st. That's the day your new solar system must be operational. The deadline to call Donald P. Dick is Friday, November 21st. A new solar system starts at under $10,000. Donald P. Dick will provide a proposal with all the details for you to make an informed decision. Let Mr. Cool show you how to drive down the cost of home energy. Call 559-255-1644 for Donald P. Dick.
Football fans, it's Phil Bonatti with Behind the Bench. The season is heating up, so bring your tailgate to mid-season form with Grocery Outlet in Kerman, Sanger, and Fresno's Southeast, Downtown, and Northwest stores. Stock up and save big on quality meats, snacks, drinks, beer, and wine. The same great quality, but always at lower prices. And while you're there, enter the Tailgate Ready contest to win 2 tickets to the next Fresno State home game, plus $100 for your tailgate. Only at Kerman, Sanger, and Fresno's Southeast, Downtown, and Northwest grocery outlets.
Your Fresno State Bulldogs are fighting for that Mountain West championship. There's nothing better than rooting for your Bulldogs as they battle it out on the gridiron, representing your city of Fresno. Bring the whole family and get loud cheering on your Bulldogs at Valley Children's Stadium all season long. Be sure to check out GoBulldogs.com today for information on special events and to grab your tickets for upcoming home games. Go Dogs!
Quick, where can you find a great selection of Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Serta, and Mattress First bedding? Easy. The same place you'll find adjustable beds, sheets, pillows, mattress protectors, and more. Sleep Retreat, inside fashion furniture. It's worth the time to walk through and imagine what your home could look like with beautiful new furniture. Or how comfortable you'll be on your new mattress. Fashion Furniture on El Paso, across from River Park. There's nothing like it in all of California.
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, we at DeBudo Defendus Insurance, a multi-generational and family-owned company, have proudly provided high-quality risk management and insurance solutions to local businesses. We stand on a tradition of solving insurance pain points in a wide range of industries like agriculture, construction, hospitality, transportation, and many others. A partnership and personal touch is what you can expect from us at DeBudo Defendus Insurance. Visit DIBU.com and get the business insurance you need today.
License number 0E02096.
At FFB, we know behind every business is a person. That's why we're more than a bank. We're a partner, a farming-focused bank for hard workers, a future-forward bank for big dreamers, and a family-friendly bank for the next generation of owners. From first ideas to major milestones, we're here to help you chase your goals and score big. So what can FFB mean for your business? Find out at ffb.bank. That's ffb.bank. FFB Bank. Let's win together.
Back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader here on this Tuesday afternoon. Good to be here. All right, we have the Venati Blitz, and it's sponsored by Grocery Outlet, of course, one of your holiday destinations to pick up some great food, especially around those holiday football games, all those holiday festive times to watch those sporting events. Grocery Outlet's got you covered in terms of being tailgate ready this holiday season for you. So without a bit of delay here, it is time for the Venati Blitz ranking the games of Week 12. Ah, yes. More bye weeks. 4 more of them. See you, Broncos, Dolphins, Chargers, Commanders. We'll see you next week. We start with the worst game of the week, and we begin in Las Vegas. The Raiders taking on the Browns. And I have no idea who's starting quarterback for the Browns. I'm assuming it's Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders, maybe, against the team he used to want to play for, maybe grooming himself to play for. Who knows what the storylines were going into the draft. But regardless, I have an over-under of 10.5 in this game, I would imagine. That's how I feel it should be, based off these offenses. It's not the actual over-under.
Yeah,
Raiders,
I was about to say.
Raiders-Browns begins now. That's my number one worst game of the week.
Yep, worst game of the week for me too. I think that, sometimes games with like two teams that are not in playoff contention can be a little fun. These are two of the worst offenses. The Browns defense is going to make this really boring. I'm going to say the Browns-Raiders game is going to be absolutely terrible, so that's why I have it last as well.
Yep. What do you got?
I'm going to agree with the same thing, to be honest. I just think that game's going to be a low-scoring tank bowl. That's the best way to put it. Tank bowl.
Tank bowl. That's how it goes. Next up, Saints and Falcons in Atlanta. The Saints coming in off the bye week. We didn't miss you. Have the divisional game against this Falcons team. But, hey, Kirk Cousins back in the starting role. Who would have thought here in the year 2025? Both teams are dead on arrival. Both teams are certainly not going to make the playoffs. Both teams have been one's, I would say, supremely disappointing, and one team's been supremely right where we thought they'd be. I'm not interested in NFC South football when it's bad, and these two teams are going to provide it here. Saints-Falcons are next.
I saw the most ridiculous thing on a graphic the other day, and it said the Falcons at 3-7 are in the hunt for the playoffs.
Get out of here.
And I'm thinking, what are these guys talking about? This game is going to be the death nail for the Falcons' playoff hopes because Kirk Cousins is not the same Kirk Cousins he was in Minnesota. So, yeah, even if it's a divisional rivalry, I do have it a little bit ahead because there are just so many terrible games this week. But, yeah, this is going to be a pretty bad game.
I don't like the disrespect you guys are spewing because Big Kirko wakes up dripping like this.
I can't believe you said that with a straight face. By the way, the Saints are a favorite in this game. Just a heads up.
Hey, they deserve it to be.
Next up, Ravens and Jets in Baltimore. The Ravens hosting Tyrod Taylor back in action. Maybe we get a little boost there. Who knows? One of the biggest spreads of the week, 13.5. Ravens are favored. it's just a bad team versus a okay team right now in this NFL, and it just doesn't provide much spark for me. Ravens, hey, get your head out of your you-know-what from last week with that Browns game.
Yeah, that was a tough defense that they had to play against, so I can understand why they weren't playing up to par, but they still got the win, and that's the most important thing, and I think they're going to have a game where they certainly can just score some points on this Jets team to get their offense back into shape after 2 weeks of not scoring above 20 points, or above 25 points, I should say. So, yeah, this is second worst for me because this game is going to be terrible. Garrett Wilson's still out, so...
Yeah, I expect the Ravens to do nothing more than blow this team out. Like, Jets aren't good. I don't expect them to do much. Even with Tyrod Taylor, I just don't think much is going to happen.
Next up, Seahawks at Titans here. The only reason I have this a little higher is when the Seahawks can blow some teams out, they're a little more entertaining than maybe some other good teams out there. I could imagine this would go that certain way with how the Titans have. Hey, props to the Titans for fighting back, putting together a drive. Cam Ward, you need a drive like that to feel good about yourself. But the Titans are just futile. They're the worst team in the National Football League, and Seattle, unfortunately, for fantasy-wise, I think Seattle's sitting the starters by third and a half quarter in this one. But other than that, Seattle, Tennessee, right here.
Yeah, anytime Tennessee plays against a good defensive line, I've stated this the last 4 weeks, every time we have a Titans game, they just get absolutely destroyed. And the Seahawks are coming off of a loss against the Rams where they don't feel good about. I think they're going to have, some momentum, some pressure to get a big win to bounce back. And so I think this is going to be a really bad game. We have the same 4 games in the bottom 4.
Love it.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I don't think this game is going to be much other than a blowout. I just think I say we look out for another Cam Ward weird fumble.
Would a JSN insane game be a redeeming factor?
I'd like it. Yeah. That'd be nice. That'd be pretty sweet. All right, now it gets interesting. Next up, I got the Lions and the Giants here. I like I said, I thought I had a little more. I wish I had a little more fun with the Jameis game. It wasn't really quite as entertaining as I thought it'd be. It was all right. He kept it close with the Packers. Actually had a leader against the Packers. I think I'm docking it here because I think the Lions have kind of been a little strange for me in terms of the way they've been going about it the last couple weeks. Let's be fair. They have, the Eagles are a very good football team, but there's some sort of weird thing going on with the Lions right now. But it also could be, I don't know. I just don't know if I trust this game to be good and interesting and close because it's in Detroit, and it's one of those Detroit could bounce back as well. But I am wary of just, in general, the Lion vibe right now at 6-4.
Yeah, at the mid-season, I had this team as my Super Bowl champ, but I wasn't so enamored with what they've done, and now they've played a couple of good defenses, and their offense has fell a little flat. So I think they need to show me something in this game because this Giants defense is honestly not that good besides the pass rush. And even then, I still think that this passing game should get it done. Laporta, I don't know if he'll be back, but this is a home game for the Lions. I think this would be an easy dub. I have this a little higher just because of the Jameis factor, and I think the game will be fun. So.
With what I've noticed, I think the Lions win the games they're supposed to win, like these games.
Yeah, true.
But when it comes to actually playing a good defense, they've definitely struggled a bit. But, yeah.
They should bounce back here. Next up, Bengals, Patriots. I have it here next. And even the hardened Patriot fans know this one could get ugly quick if it goes a certain way. Of course, the Bengals without Jamar Chase. I thought that would have been an interesting, fun matchup to see how Christian Gonzalez could go up against it. I'm actually a little more worried now that he might have to go up against T. Higgins, and T, kind of like what Drake London maybe did a couple weeks ago, could get really going in a game like this. But outside of that, I think the Patriots can run the ball all over this Bengals offense. Defense. I think this defense, the Bengals, 33.4 points per game given up. It is ridiculous how horrible this Bengals defense is. Patriots get rolling, and I'm sure they'll find a way to pull away in this game. So Patriots very good on the road too, by the way. Very good road team, undefeated right now. So that's where I have it next.
Yeah, I had this one below the Giants and Lions game. T. Higgins is top 8 in receiving yards against man-to-man coverage. And as you say, I think the world of Christian Gonzalez. I think he's a really good receiver, but T. Higgins is a really good corner. But I think T. Higgins is also a really good receiver. So that's the one matchup I am kind of looking for. That Jamar Chase suspension was Yeah, that was a crazy situation.
Hey, it was the right call.
Yeah, it was for sure. And I think it'll affect the game because I think the Patriots will run away with this. But it's a good offense v offense matchup.
Yeah.
I say this game is good for the first half. I think it'll be close going into halftime, but then I think the Patriots will step it up a notch.
Book it. The Bengals will have an opening drive touchdown. It happens on the Patriots
every
game, right? Every game. Next up, I got Packers Vikings here. Two offenses that have been lackluster, but this is a divisional game, so maybe it's a little bit better of, we'll see how this all kind of plays out. The Packers are a 6.5-point favorite at home. Barely escaping against the New York Giants. They really have just not given any sort of confidence to what we feel like this Packer team can be when it comes to playoff games in January. Minnesota, I felt like they gave away their season last week to the Chicago Bears. Their backs against the wall. They got to win this if they want any sort of shot at this, but I don't trust McCarthy maybe to do it on the road here. So two teams got to find themselves here in this football game.
Yeah, I have this at number 6, so kind of middle of the park. I really like the fact that this is a must-win game for Minnesota, and honestly, it's a must-win game for the Packers. I have not been impressed by this Green Bay team. Still have not been impressed. This team went into the Meadowlands and had a lackluster performance, but they did get the dub, and that's the most impressive thing. They're currently sitting at the 6th seed, and if they want to catch up with the Bears, they're going to have to win this game. So, this is number 6 for me, a little bit higher because of that, but maybe it's a little too high.
Two lackluster teams. I feel like this is going to be a very boring game, but hey, at least we got 9, right?
I don't even want to touch that one.
9 interceptions.
Next up, Cardinals and Jaguars in Arizona. Find me a game you haven't been entertained with the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know why. It's just, any week you get something weird and different. The Cardinals finding a way to break the record for most completions last week, even in a loss, is astounding to me. 17 penalties. My goodness, how it all plays out. And yet, a team that certainly likes to beat themselves is Jacksonville. How about two teams that maybe like to beat themselves more down the stretch of a football game playing against each other? I'm very fascinated by what could come in this football game at 105 window here. So for the pure idea of maybe this game getting a little weird, I think Cardinals-Jags sits right here for me.
Yeah, a little lower for me. I don't know. The Jaguars are cool, but I just don't have fun watching them, I guess. I don't know what it is. I think it's mainly because of Trevor Lawrence, and I've just been so disappointed in how he's played out of Clemson. But I have this a little lower, but I am not going to say that this is going to be a bad game. I think this could turn into a crazy game like that Jaguars.
You're going to see something you've never seen before in this game.
Jacoby Brissett is going to throw like 5 picks and 5 touchdowns. We're going to see something insane.
Let's go.
I think Jacoby Brissett breaks another record this weekend.
I'm starting Jacoby Brissett this week because Herbert's on a bye.
Oh my God.
So I got to hope for a good game.
You got to hope for a game. How about Jacoby versus Jacoby on either side? That's pretty fun. Next up, Bears and Steelers in Chicago. All right, Bears fans, you wanted it. You wanted me to accept the idea of you as a playoff team. I think I'm starting to embrace it. Just kind of feels like Team of Destiny. Kind of giving me 2018 vibes when they went to the playoffs with Trubisky. Is it a team that actually legitimately could win games against really tough opponents? Well, we're not going to prove that in this one because I don't know if the Steelers are necessarily that qualifier. But maybe Mason Rudolph is a better option in terms of a quarterback position right now at this stage of the season. Aaron Rodgers questionable with his broken wrist, whatever it is. I don't know. Everything is a mystery around the Steelers team, and it continues to astound me that they are at a winning season right now. Fun and interesting. This is going to be an interesting give or take game between two teams that I feel like kind of got to have it here.
Yeah, I have this at number 4. Last week, I said that I didn't believe in the Bears, and I thought they were going to lose that game against the Vikings. This is where you can make me believe in you a little bit. I still don't believe in them because they still have not won a game against a winning team, and maybe it's not going to help because it's not going to be Aaron Rodgers out there against this winning Steelers, but I think their roster's working really well right now. I think Ben Johnson is in consideration for Coach of the Year, and maybe they will get a tough matchup against the Lions and the Packers down the road, and maybe I could see from there. But I think the Steelers game is massive for them, and it's massive for the Steelers to stay in the the division lead. So I have this at number 4.
I'm not going to take this disrespect from Money Mace. Money Mace is the best quarterback on this roster.
the money he's talking about is rupees, not dollars.
I've said this on a record before. Mason Rudolph could have been the best quarterback in the history of the NFL before Myles Garrett turned his brain to soup. So, like, that's kind of where I sit in that. In that
I'm just shaking my head.
And we won't touch that. Next up, 49ers Panthers on Monday Night Football here at number 5. The Niners defense certainly lets this team have to work for it on the offensive side. It is a team battling its own self. It's a snake eating its own tail, per se, between this team. And the Panthers on the flip side are a team that I don't know how they score 20-plus points per game in the way they go about it, but somehow they do. Bryce Young finds the ways to make things happen. But I think there's a real concern from the Niners side of maybe stopping this run game a little bit more. I think Rico Dowdle's a legit number one guy with the way he's played over the last 6-7 weeks or so. And I think the Niners have something to prove on Monday Night Football. I think Brock Purdy's got to show something here on the national stage. We talked about it. He got in a rhythm in this game against the Cardinals. It's a subpar defense. Niners, Panthers should be an interesting one on Monday Night Football.
I have this all the way up at number 2.
Wow.
Because this is a pseudo playoff game for both of these teams. If one of these teams is going to win, unless we get a tie, I guess. But this could be a huge head-to-head tiebreaker win by either of these teams that are probably going to be battling for a 6th or a 7th seed. And maybe the Panthers can get it done with the running game, but I think the 49ers need a win. They've been win-loss for like the last 8 weeks, and it's been a big point of concern by even Kendrick Bourne talked about it, that they need to respond better after wins, and I think they will. So I think this is going to be a very entertaining game, and I think this being on Monday night just makes it even more special.
I really like the way this matchup is going. Brock Purdy needed that game last Sunday to just get himself prepared. But I am really excited for this game. If I had rankings this week, this would be in my top 3. But the way Bryce Young has been playing, the way Rico Dowdle's been playing, I think this is just a great matchup. Possibly a wild card matchup.
Ooh, all right. Next up, Cowboys and Eagles in Dallas. I don't care what the records are in this game. This game usually shows up in terms of entertainment value. It's in Dallas. Cowboys coming off with a win. And despite all the pedigree we know of what this Cowboys team is, pretty shaky defense versus with a prolific offense, I actually really do believe this is a pretty big test for the Eagles defense, which we know has been elite, but I think the Cowboys will test them here. And we saw that in week 1 with their ability to move the ball around. Very close game in Philly. And I think this game could stay close like it was in week 1. I find it fascinating. I wonder what the additions have done for the Cowboys on defense to actually thwart the Eagles' offense, which, let's be frank with you, the Eagles' offense has not lit it up in the considerable amount of time now. And I could see this game being incredibly close like it always is. It's in Jerry World. This feels like a really good game setting up between the Cowboys and Eagles.
Yep, I have this in number 5. This is such an interesting game because I think we could finally see that Eagles pass defense get tested. I mean, obviously they had Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, but this is a whole different animal in my opinion because George Pickens, Dak Prescott, and CeeDee Lamb have been insane in the pass offense this year. So you get the Eagles defense to see that. And then we can finally see the Eagles offense come up to light this week with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith out there playing against this horrendous Cowboys pass defense. So I'm looking to see a lot of things from the Eagles perspective especially, and I think this could be a very entertaining game because the Cowboys offense can always make it an entertaining game.
I had fun week 1 watching this matchup.
Exactly. So yeah, give it this at number 5.
This is always going to be their mini Super Bowl, especially for the Cowboys with the way their season's going. But I'm just excited, especially because I'm seeing the Pickens that I saw in Pittsburgh. I'm just excited. I'm hoping they line them up.
Lions,
arguably better than the Pittsburgh Pickens to me.
Hey, Lions didn't have Laporta. Cowboys have Jake Ferguson. I think that's a difference.
And he's leading the league in tight end touchdowns.
I think that's a difference maker in the middle of the field. Next up, number 3 for me, it's the Thursday night game, the Texans and the Bills in Houston here. And I find this game a good battle between what Josh Allen can do on offense versus what this pass defense can do from the Texans side. It is a battle between two powers, I would say, on one side of the ball. On the flip side, it sounds like it's still Davis Mills this week in terms of the starting. C.J. Stroud sounded like they were going to announce him for Week 13. So it's going to be a limited Texans offense against the Bills defense that, can leak as a unit, as we know. It's going to be interesting if the Texans can run the ball on this team as well. But Bills offense, Texans defense, that's a matchup that's worth a marquee. I got it at number 3.
Yeah, I had this a little lower because I think the Texans offense just isn't there in my opinion. But I still think this is a game where I need to see something out of Josh Allen to give me any sense of Super Bowl chance for this Bills team. They absolutely lit up this good Buccaneers pass defense last week with guys like Tyrell Shavers. Keon Coleman wasn't even out there. Well, that'll be interesting to see if he's out there this week. But yeah, Josh Allen needs to show me something in this game because this Texas defense is really, really good. So he had 6 touchdowns last week. So let's see how many he has this week.
I agree with Tanvir. I think Josh Allen has to show us something. I feel like it's very inconsistent with Josh Allen. I feel like you get a different version of Josh Allen every week. So I just need to see something better.
He had a bad interception in that first quarter. But we'll see if he can do that again.
Still had the 3-3
right.
Even after that. Next up, Chiefs and Colts in Kansas City. The Colts are a power coming off of a bye with offensive efficiency throughout their first 10 games. The Chiefs backs against the wall. Cookie's 5-6 after this game, and I think the Colts are a bad matchup for the Chiefs right now, especially with the way they run the ball, especially with the way Daniel Jones can escape the pocket, be a guy who can be runner as well when it comes to their pass defense. The Chiefs are in real trouble here, and we could see some tension in Kansas City in the early afternoon window. I think that enough can be a compelling argument to watch this game. That's why I have it at number 2. I find it very interesting between two teams that I don't think we would have been saying would have the records they did. You would think it'd be flipped at this point of the season.
Yeah, this is a very, very good matchup. I think that Jonathan Taylor versus this Kansas City rush defense is going to be a massive battle between these two teams. The Chiefs have given up the 8th least amount of rushing yards, but in terms of effectiveness, in terms of like non-garbage time rushes allowed, and also, looking at the teams that they've played against, this is a bottom half rush defense. So I think Jonathan Taylor can run up the score on the Chiefs, but the Chiefs need this win. They're 5-5 right now. They're in the 9th place right now, and they could drop to 10th or below if they lose this game against the Colts. So this is number 3 for me.
Chiefs are hungry. They're going to be very hungry for this win, But with the way Patrick Mahomes plays sometimes when they're hungry, it gets very weird to me.
Gamey.
But I still think this will be a good game just because how much is on the line still.
And lastly, my number 1 game of the week, it is in L.A., the Rams hosting the Buccaneers on Sunday Night Football. They did it right on the schedule maker side to put this on Sunday night. The Bucs have been a leaky defense so far the last few weeks in terms of the way they've been able to handle some top offenses in this football league. And Baker, he's been a man on a mission the last couple weeks as well, but hasn't been able to really keep up with some of the top offenses. It's tough, though. That was Buffalo's game to lose, per se, in that one. This Rams team, as efficient of an offense as it's been, it struggled a little bit against that Seahawks defense, but that was a different animal for them. They scored 21 on that defense last week was really impressive to me. I think they can double that point total against this Buccaneers side. Points are going to be aplenty in L.A. for my number 1 game of the week.
Yeah, this is going to be my number 1 game of the week as well. Tampa Bay has been pretty terrible against the Rams. Over the last 10 matchups, they're 2-8 against the Rams, but Tampa Bay does have that win against them in the 2000. I don't know if the Rams beat them or the Buccaneers.
The Rams beat them. Cooper Kupp had the deep pass.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Rams beat the Bucs in that playoff game. So again, Baker Mayfield, we had him as an MVP contender. We had him as our MVP pick before the season started, and I feel like the last couple of games they've gone from 5-1 to 6-4. So a get-right game is here, but they got a vaunted Rams defense ahead of them. This Rams team is probably the best team in the league right now, and this is going to be a massive game for both teams heading into the latter part of the season.
I'm just very excited for this game. I love the way the Rams are playing. I love this team in general. I'm excited to see Stafford make his MVP case better. So
can't wait, and that is your Benati Blitz. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with one more segment. Wrap up the hour next on 1430 ESPN.
Hey, Fresno and Clovis sports fans, if you're near the Fresno State area, check out Ichi Shabu at Campus Point, right next to Maya Cinemas. It's modern shabu shabu Japanese hot pot where you cook fresh meats and seafood right at your table in rich, flavorful broth. It's a fun way to eat and a great spot to relax before or after the game. And for all ESPN listeners, you'll get 10% off your bill when you use promo code ESPN10, valid now through November 30th. Ichi Shabu at Campus Point. Good food, good friends, and a new way to enjoy hot pot.
Hey, Dad, have you thought about what we talked about?
You mean Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management? Modern sounds complicated.
Look, you've got money, but it's all over the place. That's complicated, and your money could be working smarter for you. Thiessen-Duker uses advanced software designed to analyze how your different assets can work together toward your goals. You'd be surprised what a few simple adjustments can make. A lot of other advisors don't even use this technology.
And it wasn't complicated?
Thiessen-Duker made it simple. And now my accounts are streamlined too. I go to thiessen-duker.com, click on the Account View tab, and I can see all my accounts in one place.
Oh, your mom would love that.
Yeah, and so will you. That's what Thiessen-Duker can do for you.
Modern Wealth Management. I'm in, son.
Just visit thiessen-duker.com and give them a call.
The advisors of Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
You'll find them at every big box hardware store.
Are you sure we carry that?
We've all met at least once, or tried to chase one down. Legally and by all appearances, they are employees.
Customer assistance to hardware?
But they are the unhelpfuls.
Do any of you know where I can find one?
Nope. Because sometimes the hardest thing to find at a big box store is help. So you should probably come to Fresno Ag Hardware. All the hardware you need, and the help to find it.
A what?
Welcome to Banyan Tree, Fresno's favorite dispensary. Voted 2025's Best of Central California's People's Choice Award. Need some healing and relaxation? From flower to edibles, concentrate to vapes, we've got top shelf products at down-to-earth prices. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just kinda curious, our knowledgeable staff will help you find your perfect match. So climb the Banyan Tree and see how high you can get today. Order ahead at banyantreefresno.com for quick and easy pickup. Banyan Tree, rooted in quality, grown in Fresno.
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to tame your healthcare needs. We fill most prescriptions in 15 minutes or less, always accepting new patients, and enjoy free delivery to your home or workplace in Fresno and Clovis. We accept all major insurance, including Medi-Cal, Blue Cross, and Optum Rx. For our Fresno location, please call 559-424-0423 or visit grizzlypharmacy.com for more information.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Little quick look at our daily spread brought to you by Chichancy Gold Resort and Casino. If you're not trying your luck with your teams, try your luck up the mountain with Chichancy Gold Resort Casino today. Looking at the Lakers. Hey, Lakers tonight, 7:15 pre with a 7:30 tip-off from L.A. They've got the Jazz. 13.5-point favorites for the Lakers, but that's not what I want to point out here. The Lakers play one game in the span of 1 week, and they're in the middle of it right now. They have not played since Saturday when they just housed the Bucks in Milwaukee. They'll play this game tonight, And then they don't play another game until Sunday against Utah in Utah. What favors did Adam Silver get from this Lakers squad to get that kind of scheduling? I've never seen one game in 7 days in the NBA. Does every team get that? I'd like to have that for every team. That'd be nice.
Maybe. I don't know. I was thinking of maybe like a road stretch, and that's why they gave them extra rest. But no, they have 3 home games right after that. So
yeah, I don't. It makes no sense. No sense to me. While
4 home games.
Yeah, 4 home games after that. Meanwhile, my Warriors have to like play back-to-backs like 4 times in a row. Like Suns and then Kings and then
that's Spurs back-to-back.
That's Spurs back-to-back.
The home away.
We go OKC Spurs back-to-back days and then play the Spurs again. Like what? Like
maybe you are right. Maybe they are out to get y'all.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Let's take a break. We got to wrap up the hour here. Just a quick segment here. When we come back, we'll talk some Fresno State football. We'll talk that with our guys here. And plus, Dillian Morgan from KC24 is going to join us on the phone line here next as well. Stay with us. Hour number 2 coming up next on 1430.
The Central Valley Sports Leader has you covered for the local angle with the Central Valley Sports Report hosted by Paul Meadors. Paul is back for year 5 and is ready to give you the insight and knowledge of everything you need to know when it comes to high school sports. From the coaches and player interviews to the game recaps week by week, as well as talking with all the insiders that have the pulse when it comes to prep sports in the Central Valley. Central Valley Sports Report, airing 10 a.m. to noon, live from First String Sports every Saturday on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Now that you've gathered all your landscaping ideas at the Fall Home Show, swing by Clovis Stone Masonry and Landscape Supply to bring them to life. Hey contractors and DIYers, Paul Meadors here. Clovis Stone is the Valley's go-to playmaker with 6 acres of premium materials ready to roll. Whether you're building big or dialing in the details, Clovis Stone has what you need when you need it. With 24-hour delivery, fast, call-ahead pickup, you can stay on schedule and on budget. Step on the lot today off Sunnyside in Old Town Clovis or online at clovisstone.net.
Basketball is here at Fresno City College. Come cheer on the Rams, both men's and women's teams, 2 of the top programs in the state, where every game is fast, fierce, and full of heart. Don't miss your chance to see championship-level basketball live at FCC. Want to know where the Rams play next, or check schedules for other sports? Visit FCCRams.com for full fall and winter athletic schedules. Be part of the tradition. Be part of pride. Fresno City College Athletics, where champions compete and fans bring the energy.
Citrus season is here, and once again, growers are choosing orange over blue because Kubota means less downtime, easier controls, and better value through the long harvest stretch. When you're racing weather, labor, and time, uptime matters, and Kubota delivers. So, turn to Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, for the tractors and service they depend on. With Fresno and Reedley locations, Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, is ready for you this season. Visit Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, today. Online at pioneerequipmentca.com.
Building a new warehouse? Adding on to your existing warehouse for more space? The boys from Fresno Rack and Shelving can help, because that's what they do. Fresno Rack's design department can help optimize your warehouse storage capabilities and increase your productivity. With a large local stock of pallet racking, industrial parts shelving, in-house permitting, and installation departments, Fresno Rack and Shelving is the choice for you. Call or visit FresnoRack.com today.
Summer's winding down, and fall is the perfect time to get your home ready for the cooler nights ahead. At Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, we've been keeping Fresno families comfortable since 1981. A seasonal service now means peace of mind all winter long, knowing your system is ready when you need it most. When the holidays come, your home will be cozy and welcoming for everyone who walks through the door. Don't miss out on the comfort you deserve. Call Lee's Air today and step into the season with confidence.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13-valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
You're listening to the home of the San Francisco Giants, KFIG Fresno, 1430 ESPN.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Good night of college hoops. It's the Champions Classic at Madison Square Garden. First of two games underway tonight. Number 17, Michigan State, and number 12, Kentucky. The Spartans lead by 6, 25-19, 7:45 to go in the first half. And a good start for Jackson Kohler with a team-high 8 points on 3 of 4 from the field. Trey Fort adding a 3. Kurt Tang with 5 off the bench for Michigan State, looking to get to 4-0 on the Kentucky side. An early 7 points for Colin Chandler to lead the way. Play-by-play on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Followed by Duke and Kansas with tip-off at 9 Eastern. Kansas freshman Darren Peterson will miss tonight's game with a hamstring injury. The projected number 1 pick in the NBA draft, finishing with 22 points in a loss to North Carolina on November 7th. That was his most recent action. In the NBA, Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo will be out 1 to 2 weeks with a low-grade groin strain. Giannis leaving last night's loss to the Cavs in the opening quarter, off to one of the best starts of his career, averaging just under 33 points on 63% from the field, along with 11 rebounds and 7 assists through his first 12 games. NFL Week 12 around the corner. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers dealing with a small fracture in his left wrist that will not require surgery. Head coach Mike Tomlin did not rule him out for Sunday's game against the Bears. Mason Rudolph took over in the second half against Cincinnati.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Wednesday's show, Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner with his weekly NFL breakdown joins us. Same thing with Dodgers catcher and World Series hero Will Smith, plus my brand new NFL Power Rankings. That's Wednesday on The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks, but super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this Tuesday, hour number 2 of 3 of our program. We're taking you up all the way to Laker basketball later tonight, which you can listen to pregame 7:15, tip-off at 7:30 between the Lakers and the Jazz. Little reminder what we got a little bit docu coming up here as well. Of course, tomorrow we'll have Sportsline Bulldog Hour Tony 2 to 3. We'll have my show going from 3 to 5. Yes, we're moving things up a little bit. 5 o'clock will be the Sunbird Sports Show over on 790 tomorrow, because we will have some basketball tomorrow night. San Joaquin Memorial taking on Bakersfield High. It is a 6:45 pregame with a 7 p.m. tip-off. We're doing this because Jalen Green is getting his jersey retired at San Joaquin Memorial tomorrow night, and we are going to be there for the broadcast of that game. So 6:45 pregame with a 7 p.m. tip from San Joaquin Memorial. I got to get my basketball calling chops back together. I'm used to the football side of things, so hopefully I remember how to call basketball.
Can't be calling a first down.
No, cannot be calling it a kickoff, all that kind of stuff. Doing 2 sports in 1 week. What am I, Kevin Harlan?
Right.
Anyways, making it work. We'll have Friday Night Football too, Central, East, and Clovis. That is a 6:30 pregame, 7 p.m. kickoff from Collegian with myself and Paul Metters. Should be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's talk some Fresno State. I haven't got a chance to talk Fresno State with you guys outside of maybe the circumstances of the weather, and I thought it was a very interesting game to analyze because, there's two schools of thought when it comes to how you evaluate your team and what they've done, and whether you can kind of take things away from what you're seeing on the football field. There's a school of thought that the weather doesn't really matter. It's all in your head, depending on what things go on and the circumstances. And I would say that is the Pat Hill school of thought. I do recall Coach Entz saying maybe something a little bit differently. He thought the weather could be a factor in terms of evaluating his quarterback. I want to remind you of the quote he said about his quarterback, talking about his experience in that game. Why don't we just listen real quick to what Coach Entz said yesterday in his presser about Conklin.
All of a sudden you want to evaluate your quarterback in a downpour. It becomes difficult, but I do think there was some positives. Like you said, the 2-minute drive, the 4th and 6 conversion that we had was a quick game. Saw it, knew where he wanted to go with it, got it, on rhythm. So again, please, I don't think a lot of people in the state of California threw for a lot of yards on Saturday night. So, but there's improvement. I love the way that he is a competitor. I love the way how he interacts with his football team and with his teammates. So we'll continue to keep coaching. And him and EJ have done a really good job of working together, helping Coach Davis put together a game plan, one that they like, things that they like to do, things that fit their skill set.
So I thought that was an apt description of what Conklin's game looked like. I know a lot of people were like, wow, I didn't really do much in this game again, 95 yards, what are we doing here? And I would say I think it is fair to grade on the curve of what we saw. I thought the 2-minute drill got him going a little bit. I thought, first of all, great touchdown drive to start the game. We were looking for sustained drives from Fresno State in this football game. When are we going to generate the offense? Not from something the other team did, but what our own team did. Well, guess what? We picked up the ball at the 27-yard line to start the game and drove it 73 yards for a touchdown. That, to me, is success on offense. 2-minute drill. You get to see that when he picks up the ball at, 1:43 in the second quarter. Is that what I see here? 1:43. And they kick a field goal to take a 10-3 lead with an 11-play, 58-yard drive. So a couple of sustained drives in that situation. He talked about the quick passing game. I think when Carson Conklin's in rhythm, when he is, in the process of going through the passing play, and he's able to kind of hit his first or second reads, I think he's looking a lot better. I think when he starts rolling around the pocket, rolling out to his right or left, I don't think there's much success there when it comes to that and the improvisation. So all the on-scheduled stuff, I think, is more important to execute. But let's be fair, nothing can really be on schedule when the rain is out there in terms of it. That's my evaluation of how things have kind of gone from the passing game. It is the circumstance of, yes, the weather was an example of what could go wrong in some games like this, including, let's talk about Wyoming's perspective, going 6 for 23 and a pick on the other side, passing-wise. Not great. So all things considered, I thought this was a step forward for Conklin on the offense. I don't know what other people thought. I think some Fresno State fans out there still think it's as bad as it can be. But I thought there was a step forward in last Saturday's game.
Step forward for sure, but I think I wouldn't look at anything in a win that I wouldn't look in a loss, and I still think that I need to see a little bit more out of the passing game. I'm
not saying it's done.
No, for sure.
I'm not settled.
I know. And, we were both saying how many yards he needed to be happy with his performance. I said 100. You said it like 125, I believe.
Yeah.
95 and one TDs. Still pretty good. I think that it's certainly going to be necessary in this next game that we have against Utah State. But if that rushing game is working like it was, and if that defense is humming on all cylinders like they were, I don't know if you need anything beyond just being able to keep a clean game. And he's kept clean games over the last 2 games.
2 clean sheets, 2-0 the last 2 games. 216 on the ground for the Bulldogs. That'll help, certainly. 216, they haven't gone to over 200 against a conference opponent since 2022. Fresno State hadn't done that since then. So I'd say that's pretty good. Guess what we did in 2022, by the way? Won the Mountain West. Wyoming, on the flip side, if you want to go on the defensive perspective of what this game looked like, I mean, I am looking at drive charts that are just absolutely futile here. It is field goal drive from the first setup on, which was an 8-play, 52-yard drive. 40 of these yards came on one play, by the way. The one singular completion Wyoming was able to have in the first half led to that score, which honestly, I looked at that field goal. Didn't even look like it was it was like begging to get in. I don't know how he somehow kicked that. From my perspective, I thought it was well short, and I was like, really? He was like that close to missing it from 40, whatever it was? It was pretty brutal. I don't know what it played like on the TV side of things.
It was basically the same.
Yeah. But outside of that, here's an important stat line for you. Here's Wyoming's starting field position on all their drives today, on Saturday. 25-yard line, 27, 33, their 38, their 41-yard line, 32. Their own 25, their own 17, their own 20, their own 11, their own 8, their own 20, their own 25. Field position was so key in this one in terms of the patience side of things. Fresno State did not set them up in pretty horrible situations on the offensive side with turnovers, fumbles, all that kind of stuff. Once again, you win football games. I know it's a subpar offense with what Wyoming was running there. And even when you had the ball at the Wyoming 41, which was a turnover on downs, Entz went for it on fourth down. They didn't quite get to it because they were a little delayed in the handoff, kind of an option play that I didn't really think was a great call in the moment. But guess what Fresno State did when they turned the ball over on downs? It was a 6-play, 1-yard drive for Wyoming right after that forced in the punt. So no harm, no foul. I think Entz really, from going for it on those fourth downs of the offense, what that tells me is he trusts his defense so much to be backed into their situations that it is no blink to him in terms of wanting to go after it when he's in that kind of strange little go for it fourth down situation. So I'd imagine you go for it more in those situations, and I like the aggressiveness there because you knew the defense was absolutely playing its best ball on Saturday.
And, yeah, it set them up for success down the road, that defense. I mean, you saw on multiple occasions, they just could not pick up yards, even in, as you said, their starting field position. You know, they started to, in the second quarter especially, it started to get really bad for them. But, you know, they had at a 40-yard line, 30-yard line field position, and you still did not get the same level of offense that you generally would get out of any other, like it's just a normal team, I guess. But Wyoming is not a good offense, and that was the key. You know, the defense had to pick it up, and the big playmakers had to come out and make plays, and they certainly did. You know, Arsenault had a big touchdown at the end of that game. Luke had 92 yards rushing, I should say. Donaldson, another touchdown on the ground. And so this team is going to run with that rushing offense and this defense. And if the field position game, as important as it is, keeps up as they have been doing over these last 2-3 games, I would say, I think the sky's the limit for this team, and they're currently sitting at second in the Mountain West. So Mountain West Championship is still in the viewpoint of this Fresno State team.
I heard something, and it's like if everybody stays tied in the Mountain West, Fresno State would end up being the team in it if everything held. But obviously it's not going to be that way because you have UNLV and Hawaii that's going to face each other. San Diego and New Mexico face each other. So there's still some fulcrum matchups that are going to kind of determine what it looks like down the stretch in terms of it. Utah State, very slim chance, but they do have Boise, so there could be a 3-loss situation if everybody kind of, eats each other. Like if Utah State does beat Fresno State, I would imagine, though, let's be honest with you, Fresno State loses, they're out of it. But
for sure,
we're gonna play this game in the next hour here of kind of doing the contender versus pretender situation with a lot of the teams that are bunched up at the top 6. That I think is favorable to talk about. But outside of that, I think this team is equipped to play those different kind of style of football games that are out there. We are not seeing teams in the conference be these prolific offenses out there outside of maybe New Mexico in terms of it. I'm kind of looking at the scoring totals per what it is. And the one team that I would say genuinely could be scared about in terms of the offensive output is a team we beat, which was Hawaii. So, outside of that, you survived that test already. UNLV has the scoring totals in terms of it as well. It's interesting because I feel like I don't really trust the UNLV offense per se, but yet somehow they always seem to kind of find ways to win at 8-2 perspective. So it's an interesting kind of different discussion when it comes to that. But outside of it, Fresno State, it's getting what it needs. It's getting what it needs. It definitely, when we look at what the next game will be, I think this caliber of opponent is a tough one when it comes to that. Utah State, I think, is a tier above Wyoming, clearly, in terms of what it's looking at. It's a better offense. Their quarterback is a little more legitimate. What can Fresno State do that they need to continue to do in these next couple of games is continue to be consistent when it comes to tackling, continue to be consistent when it comes to being in different spaces, continuing to be consistent when it comes to trying to give different looks at this defense and look at this offensive, what do you call it? Just really frustrate Utah State per se, and kind of what we did with Boise State a few weeks ago. Because I feel like even with Maddox Merrill not being in that game, I felt like if Maddox was still in that game with Boise, I think it still was kind of the same result, just based off of what Boise does and how Fresno State was really able to handle anything that Boise had in their system. So I cannot wait to see what kind of game plan moves forward with this Bulldogs side. Like I said before, I am not here pounding the drum to bench Carson Conklin that I've heard from some of the fandom already that's looking to do so. I just don't know what the conversation, like, where are we going back to it? You want to turn the ball over again more? Like, what are we doing with the, I just don't, there is one evil versus another evil, and I'd rather be the one that is safely moving the football at a snail's pace as opposed to the one that you want to go after the deep shot, dramatic plays, big-time offense, all that kind of stuff. It's just not something I'm really interested in when it comes to this Bulldogs side. I'm interested in winning, and I think that's the winning formula.
Yeah, with this, when you were saying that this team has kind of seen every type of game, I think the one game that they have not seen is the back-and-forth, like, shootout type of game.
If they didn't get their head out of their own butt, Colorado State would have been in that game.
Yeah, and so you don't really see that type of thing happening, I guess, with these last two opponents. So yeah. I think overall these are two winnable games. They are two better teams than Wyoming, in my opinion. Yes. San Jose State, we don't know because they just lost to Nevada, and
I don't trust.
Absolutely agree.
I don't even know what San Jose State's about anymore.
Yeah, but hey, you never know. They're always that thorn in the side, and so yeah. I agree with you. I think if you can just play clean football, the defense, they're currently top 10 in passing defense, and I think that's where most of the offense comes from. Both
Sha'Carri Embry and Azilian Hamilton. Like, if you did an award for like best duo of corners in college football right now, I think they would be, you would have to consider them like one of the short list guys. Maybe like, I don't know, am I crazy to say top 5, top 10 duo of corners in college football right now?
You can make that case for sure, especially with the interception numbers being as high as they are, especially with this entire secondary. So overall, I do agree. I think you stick it out with Carson Conklin until an injury arises or something like that, because I think the safe play, if you just keep running the football as you are, I think you have your mentality of what you want your team to be, really, really good on the defense, really, really good in the running game, and have a supplementary pass offense that doesn't make as many mistakes. I think that's the way to do it. And, for those that want Carson Conklin out of there, I think you've got to give credence to just a horrible game with a bunch of interceptions. That's the only way that I think I would see him being out of this roster.
We have not had a normal circumstance for Carson Conklin to play quarterback at. And if you look at the other games he played against the other, let's be frank, he's been the better quarterback in all the games he's played outside of the San Diego State game. In the games, he was the better quarterback against the Boise State Broncos, right? Like, that Boise State Bronco quarterback was horrible.
Yeah, and I think it's because of that defense, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was the better quarterback in the Wyoming game, was he not? So.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just trying to get people to look at it a different way instead of saying bench the guy. I mean, where are you going? Where are we going? 2 wins away from the Mountain West Championship. What more can you ask for? Find ways to win.
I think it would be too late in the season to do another change, in my opinion.
Of course. Then you lose the legitimacy of what you're trying to do in the locker room, which is build some sort of consistency. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to bring on Dylan Morgan. He's been fun to talk to at these games. I want to chop it up with him and talk about this Bulldog squad next. So let's call him up. Let's take a break, and we'll bring on Dylan Morgan next here on 1430 ESPN.
I'm here at the Roger Dunn Open. Former Fresno State football coach Pat Hill is at the first tee. Hey, it's a fairway hit.
Yeah, but that's the wrong fairway, Coach.
I need to buy a golf game.
Coach, I really think you need a Roger Dunn makeover.
When you buy a game at Roger Dunn, you can play anybody, anytime, anywhere. This is the old coach, Pat Hill. I bought this 7-iron at Roger Dunn Golf. Number 8 at Tehama, 162 yards out. Eagle, baby!
The sound of bees means lots of blooms, and lots of blooms means a profitable crop year. But those delicate blooms can easily be destroyed by adverse weather conditions, which in turn can be devastating to your crop investment. Now is the time to secure multi-peril crop insurance, which covers your almond crop during bloom. Bowman & Associates, your local crop insurance specialist, has been writing crop insurance for almost 40 years. Bowman & Associates is one of the largest crop insurance agencies in the state and nation. Call Roger Kent or Quinn Bowman today and ask about their multi-peril crop insurance for almonds. Bowman & Associates can design a policy with protection based on your own production experience. Ask about the new Price Option Plus, which increases the insurance price per pound to make it closer to the market price of almonds. Deadline for multi-peril coverage is December 31st. Call Bowman & Associates at 499-2020. That's 499-2020. California Department of Insurance license number 0F64178.
Bowman & Associates, crop insurance specialists.
Steel prices are rising everywhere except where it counts. Pacific Steel Supply INC in Fresno still delivers unbeatable value, rain or shine. They'll match or beat any competitor's price by at least 10% on top quality steel, roofing, and components. 24/7 service? Absolutely. When storms hit, Pacific Steel Supply INC keeps your build moving. Get your free quote today at PacificSteelSupplyINC.com. Pacific Steel Supply INC. Premium products delivered on time, every time.
At FFB, we know behind every business is a person. That's why we're more than a bank. We're a partner, a farming-focused bank for hard workers, a future-forward bank for big dreamers, and a family-friendly bank for the next generation of owners. From first ideas to major milestones, we're here to help you chase your goals and score big. So what can FFB mean for your business? Find out at ffb.bank. That's ffb.bank. FFB Bank. Let's win together.
At Helena Agri-Enterprises, we're committed to helping you make the best agronomic decisions for your farm. That's why we combine cutting-edge technology with superior product. Helena's agri-intelligence solutions use in-depth analysis to identify potential problems in the field before they take root. Combined with a complete line of high-quality crop production and crop protection inputs, Helena has the tools to help you increase productivity, enhance performance, and maximize your return on investment. Contact your local Helena representative or authorized dealer to create the right plan for your farm with Helena products and agri-intelligence solutions.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13-valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, and we are pleased to be joined by our first guest of the day here right in the mid part of the show. Always good to catch up with some of the local media folks around here, and one of them, of course, is always covering the Bulldogs. You see him on Bulldog Insider over on KC24. Dylan Morgan joining me now on the Lee's Air Hotline. Dylan, how are we doing on this Tuesday afternoon?
Good, sir. How about yourself?
Fantastic, Dylan. It's good to catch up with you. Hopefully you've dried off considerably since the game Saturday. How long did it take for you to feel back in the warmth and comfort of your home after that game?
Me and my 13 layers of clothing that I had on that night are luckily, yes, all dried out by now. Had the good warm shower afterwards, finally at about 1 o'clock in the morning, after the game and everything. But no, yeah, it was. I'm glad we're past that, and I'm so glad that Saturday will be dry and just a little chilly. I can take that.
They can
every
take,
time.
Can take
sure.
that every time for sure. And, of course,
Yeah.
you can take the victories with it as well. And the Bulldogs
absolutely
finding the wins, finding the way to win on Saturday. And it was an interesting game in terms of, I described it as kind of the Bulldogs needing to be patient. They were kind of the crouching tiger, just waiting to strike. It felt like once they found some sort of mistake Wyoming could make, then they could capitalize. I think nothing indicative more than the Azilian Hamilton pick leading to the Arsenault run. But outside of that, how would you characterize the win on Saturday from the Bulldogs' perspective?
I just feel like once again they have found maybe their way of doing things. I know in the past it's been a lot flashier. It's been through the air. It's been really highlight plays here and there. But no, this Matt Entz team is completely different. They are fine putting their hard hats on, putting their ponchos on for this one, riding it out in the first half. And then once things lightened up in the second half, like you said, A.Z. Hamilton gets the pick. Jonathan Arsenault breaks off a 58-yard touchdown run. Then finally we see a Carson Conklin passing touchdown, which I feel like the fan base was just so eager to see as well. And so, yeah, I feel like they were able just to kind of get it done their way and ultimately get that 7th win.
A lot to unpack with the storylines, right? Because you mentioned a lot of different things, the Bulldog fans and what they care about. Of course, what Coach Entz cares about is winning. And when it comes to how this team is winning, it's not a brand of winning that I think Bulldog fans have been used to or have really seen in quite some time. You mentioned the high-flying nature of it when it comes to, your Hainers and your McMarions and your Cars and all that kind of stuff that have come through the program the last 25 years. I mean, how long do you have to start reprogramming the fan base to think, hey, maybe it is the ground and pound defensive style, we're just going to out-tough you style of play? How long does it take before the fan base can start maybe embracing this style?
I think at this point it is going to take consistently putting up these type of performances. Obviously, in the beginning of the year, I think everyone was just kind of fine with everything when it was 5-1. Everyone was kind of skeptical, but they were like, hey, we're just happy to be here at 5-1. And then the wheels kind of came off there a little bit, and everyone pressed the panic button. But I feel like the Dogs have just found a great way to bounce back, figure out how to just win games, and obviously some certain things were advantageous. Boise, Maddox Madsen going down was very helpful for them in that one. But I still tip my cap to that defense that Nick Benedetto has. I mean, regardless of who lines up in front of them, it really just feels like they are fundamentally sound, and they go out there and they play really, really hard football every time.
Absolutely, and you credit the defensive perspective on it. And, I just said a segment ago that I might argue that Fresno State has maybe one of the best duos of corners in the nation. I think I might dare say that when it comes to Jakari Embry and Azilian Hamilton. I don't know if I'm taking crazy juice, but is that a fair statement, or is that a hot take, do you think, from that perspective?
I mean, when you actually go and look at it, not only statistically, but just when you go watch the pure tape, those two guys are so skillful, very, very fundamentally sound. I don't want to place any blame on anything, but a lot of the problems that have come through in the passing game for pass defense have come on the back end, on kind of more of the safeties, which has been some kind of interchangeable guys in those roles throughout the season so far. So that's very tough. But those two guys on the outside, when you line up on Saturdays, you know that they are going to play fundamentally sound football and very technically very well as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Coach Entz is creating a lot of different looks when it comes to the defensive side, exchanging a lot of different pass rushers in. They really go depth on that line. You see him kind of interchange through it. There's the guys who stick around for a while in those plays, but I mean the depth, the talk about that, with this team, Coach Entz, how he's pieced it together. What's been the most impressive side from you, from what he's pulled out of this defensive unit, from a lot of the transfers that came in, a lot of like Jaden Pearson and Simeon Harris, like a couple of those guys as well. What stands out about the way you've seen it meld together from what you saw from the beginning of the year?
I think, honestly, the consistent piece with a lot of those guys, whether it's, like you said, Jaden Pearson, a guy like Finn Claypool coming over from Drake, guys like that who have pieced together this defense, it's just effort. I think every time they go on the field, they literally give max effort, and they are so in the film room that they know what's coming, and when you match that with the effort that they bring and the energy that they bring, I mean, that's why you see them flying around the field. You see the energy after plays as well. They are fired up. They are excited for each other. They are, I mean, Cam Worrell said it this past week. If you're going to be a great defender, you got to have a screw loose a little bit. And I think every single one of those guys on that side just has a little bit of a screw loose, and it's been working for the Dogs.
Yeah, you've been breaking it down with Cam on the Bulldog Insider show throughout this season. You've been looking at the defensive side a lot with him. Are there things he's pointing out where or talk about how you chop that up, and what stands out when you kind of look at the tape with this team, and what Cam's perspective is from that. It's a fascinating segment you're able to do with the Bulldog Breakdown there.
Yeah, the biggest takeaway that I've been able to have in talking with Cam mainly is how advanced the defense really is and how complex they actually are. And the combo coverages that they run on the back end and the stunts that they run with the front four and even with those blitzing linebackers and bringing guys off the edge. So it's honestly just how difficult it is to prepare for this defense because of how many different things they can throw at you and because of how smart all of those guys are that they're able to process just so many different things and still play with anticipation and play with a lot of energy and effort as well.
Let's switch to the other side, though. We've been giving a lot of praise to the defense, and rightfully so. It's one that's carried this team to where it is now. But let's get to the other side of the ball on the offensive side, which I think clearly a lot of people have reservations for, even despite, some big plays that came out of that Wyoming game. Do you feel like this team will go as far as this offense can give them in terms of that? Do you feel like there will be a game where this offense will cost it down the stretch, or is this the formula enough? Are they doing enough to get to a Mountain West championship?
I think at the moment you're doing enough, but I will say there's obviously some caveats with that. So coming up, obviously a team like Utah State, their offense, as much as their record doesn't show it, their offense is very, very capable of just gashing you up and down the field, whether it's with the pass or the run. So first, it's like if you can get past a team like that defensively and being able to stop them, that's great. And if you are forced to get into a shootout on the other side, that's maybe the first test. But if you're able to get past that, the biggest question I would say after that is hopefully you handle business in San Jose. And then if you're able to get to that Mountain West championship with some help from some other things, and the way it's looking is obviously it's going to be a rematch maybe with San Diego State. That's kind of the most likely outcome at the moment. In a game like that, it seems that their front seven is going to be so dominant in stopping the run, you are going to need a couple receivers to step up in that pass game just to show you a flash of something, whether it's just 1, 2, 3 plays that give you just a different dimension that you haven't seen before, and some of those guys winning one-on-one matchups. I think we know Josiah Freeman is very capable, but in a game like that, they're probably going to bracket coverage him, double him, and kind of lock him down. So you're going to need other guys, Zeke Abbott, John Brown, like that, to step up and kind of give you something. Even the tight ends, they've done a great job this year as well, but you're going to need a real breakout performance from one of those other guys. And even if it's Rayshon Luke, getting him out in space, not just handing him the ball, if it's getting him on the edge in screens as a receiver or something like that, you just have, in a game like that, it seems like you're going to need a real breakout player like that.
Well, I think there's been some interesting adjustments to this group. We talk about it amongst each other. We have there's the big five running backs on this roster. You feel there's five guys that can do what they do, like Arsenault did, where you break it for 58 and make it happen. It's all over the depth chart. And sometimes, and that play was created on misdirection, going to a different guy. Coach Entz talked about how they're seeing defenses draw a little bit more with Rayshon. And so you're trying to change the way the defenses are perceiving this run game, and maybe it is two back sets that you're going to see more often from this side. Maybe see those guys be out on the field more, be a more dangerous side of it, and make the defense have to make a choice there because we know how explosive those running backs can be. I wonder if they're going to lean on it more as you go into this Utah State game, the San Jose State game, and maybe a potential Mountain West championship. I think that's going to be an interesting evolution to where this offense can go.
No, absolutely. And like you just said, they have a whole just group of guys in that backfield who really can make a difference in different ways. Even when you start to throw in guys like Gilliam and Brandon Ramirez in there who can then change the pace and stump you in the face and really just kind of change things up for them. It is going to be, as time goes on here, it's going to be more games where you're going to need that whole group of guys just to galvanize this team, I think, definitely on the offensive side.
I know some people, I heard some people talking like, man, you have too many guys getting too much NIL from the running back side. 5? We really need 5 of these guys in this roster, and we couldn't get one quarterback. And I'm like, you can never have too many good running backs in a running back room. These guys get hurt, and Fresno State's been so lucky to not have a guy. I don't think a single guy's really missed a game yet this year from the 5 we talk about, right? They have been relatively healthy, all things considered, and I'd say that's a good problem to have when you can't have enough time to get the ball to those guys outside of that. I want to quickly go to the quarterback question, right? Because I hear people still wanting to maybe see a change here, and I'm hesitant to say it because, first of all, I don't know if we've seen a normal game for Conklin yet. This year we've seen rain, we've seen Boise, and we've seen short week, admittedly, from him. Can we evaluate him now after this Utah State game? Is this the game where it's like, all right, Carson, you show why you deserve to be on this roster. You show why you deserve to be the QB1. Do you feel like there's pressure for Conklin? Obviously, I think there's obviously pressure. Maybe let me reframe the question. Is it fair now to evaluate Carson Conklin this upcoming game, this home game, this senior night, and really evaluate, is he the guy that can move forward?
I would say that's a fair assessment because, like I said, I think this game does have a chance to get a little bit higher scoring than Bulldog fans are used to in recent weeks with how dominant this defense is because of how capable the Aggies offense is coming in to Fresno. But on the backside, we could be sitting here talking about Carson Conklin needs to do this and that, but then we show up on Saturday and the defense forces 4 turnovers. They have short fields all night long, and there's no reason for him to go out there and throw for 300 yards. So I think people do need to take that space of context as well in the defense's dominance has also then turned into Carson not having to do as much in the pass game and working with shorter field, not having to do this and that. But, yes, to get back to the first question, I do think he is going to have to throw the ball. I think, as the weeks continue to go on, obviously teams are going to continue to stack the box. They're going to continue to test his capability in throwing passes, especially because the Dogs like to run on early downs. He's going to be forced into some situations where it's a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 8, and he's going to have to convert in order to extend drives. And I think that's mainly where the evaluation needs to come in. Not on the overall, does he go out and put up 250, 300 yards, but it's situationally. Does he convert 3rd downs? When they get into the red zone, does he take care of the ball, and does he put points on the board? I think ultimately that's what it's going to come down to, because ultimately in the early part of the year with the turnovers, that's what turned into losses.
Mm-hmm.
So now without having those turnovers and without having those lost possessions, it's now turning back into wins.
I think Coach Jentz is happy with one stat line, and it's 0 interceptions in the last 2 games. I think that nothing really else matters for him, despite maybe the limited nature of it. I don't know. I don't think we're not going to see, outside of an injury, I think Carson Conklin is playing the rest of the season regardless of what happens. But I do want to see where the patience of Fresno State fans can be led to. And maybe we see like 180 and 2 touchdowns against Utah State, and that's what you need. And from a dynamic standpoint, we'll see. Saturday is going to be a fascinating game. It feels like the whole season rides on it. With how depleted San Jose State looked against Nevada, it feels like this game is for the season. And the Bulldogs, from my understanding, have the inside track. It is, I think, control your destiny and you're in, outside of a couple of extenuating circumstances. But we'll see. Gun to your head, Dylan, are they playing in December on a Mountain West Championship in San Diego?
As of right now, I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm going to roll with it. I like the feeling. I like the vibe. I like the thought of Hawaii knocking off UNLV.
Yeah.
For some reason, it feels really, really an outcome that could happen. And just because of how Micah Alejado has played in recent weeks, and I feel like he's kind of refound his footing a little bit. And UNLV, they obviously have the record right now, but when you watch their games and you see some of these outcomes, they have come out by the skin of their teeth in almost every single matchup that they are in with a very capable opponent. So I'm very, very interested to see how that Hawaii-UNLV matchup goes, because also, the Ninth Island as well. So there's a lot of, Hawaii fans out there. So it'll be very interesting to see that game.
Yeah, certainly. Maybe we get chaos. I don't know. Hawaii beats UNLV, knocks them out. Maybe New Mexico beats San Diego. Everyone's 4-2 with Boise there. We beat Boise. You beat Hawaii. Hawaii's beat San Diego. Who knows where it goes all crazy. Maybe Fresno's hosting on December 5th. Maybe they're hosting. Who knows? That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would probably be the wildest of outcomes for sure. But I just have an inkling with how kind of things have gone in recent weeks. There's some more chaos to be had. It feels that way.
There is. The twists and turns have not stopped yet. Dylan, appreciate you always coming on the show. People can watch Bulldog Insider on Sundays, but where can they find you and what you do for KC24?
You go to yourcentralvalley.com. You just search up our sports tab. You see all of our stuff up there, and you can go ahead and find me. Twitter, Instagram, Dylan Morgan TV. I love to talk with the people, see what you guys got to say.
All right, Dylan. We'll see you. I'm sure I'll see you Saturday on the sidelines for the season finale. You got your whiteout gear? I'm sure you're getting your whiteout gear for.
Oh
for
yeah,
Saturday.
I got the white sweater ready. I'm prepared. I'm ready to roll.
I need a white suit from you. I need a. Anyways, we'll see you Saturday, Dylan. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You as well.
All right, Dylan Morgan of KC24 for us there. All right, let's take a break. Let's wrap up this hour next on 1430 ESPN, Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Get your day started with Rich Eisen.
Luka Doncic went through a bad breakup and decided, I'm going to get in shape because he's on the cover of Men's Health magazine. I must tell you this is beyond expectations. If you had to name a superstar in the NBA who would at least be the last person to show up on the cover of Men's Health magazine, it would be him and James Harden, right? It would be a coin toss.
Rich Eisen, brought to you by Citizens Business Bank.
Quick, where can you find a great selection of Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Serta, and Mattress First bedding? Easy. The same place you'll find adjustable beds, sheets, pillows, mattress protectors, and more. Sleep Retreat, inside fashion furniture. It's worth the time to walk through and imagine what your home could look like with beautiful new furniture. Or how comfortable you'll be on your new mattress. Fashion Furniture on El Paso, across from River Park. There's nothing like it in all of California.
This November, keep your stash stacked and your vibes lifted at Valley Pure. We're stocked with sticky flower, mouthwatering edibles, and smooth vapes. Everything you need for a sesh that hits just right. The deals at Valley Pure, straight fire. Roll through on Green Wednesday, Thanksgiving, or Black Friday for up to 50% off your favorite brands and strains. No fluff, no gimmicks, just real savings at Valley Pure on the products you actually love. All 5 Valley Pure locations are open on Thanksgiving. Swing by, stock your stash, and celebrate fully loaded. Stay lifted, stay thankful, stay Valley Pure.
When you think of California business machines, it wouldn't surprise me if you automatically thought 3-cent color copies. It's something CBM has become locally famous for. But now there's something else business owners are calling about: business phone systems. It's a beautiful thing. Copiers, printers, office phone systems, all with one simple call to California Business Machines. 559-225-5570 or online at cbmsolution.com.
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
Want to work somewhere fun, flexible, and rewarding? Me and Ed's is hiring. We're looking to expand our team with full and part-time positions at over 40 locations. Join our growing company as a delivery driver or valued team member today. For more information on job descriptions or to apply, go online at meandeds.com or visit your nearest location. Me and Ed's is hiring. Fill out an application.
For 80 years, Fresno Pacific University has been shaping the heart and soul of California as the Central Valley's only accredited Christian university. Today, our deep faith roots and pride in our community drive us to provide affordable, career-relevant education that transforms the lives of our students and the communities they serve. Discover your calling through over 100 undergraduate and graduate programs offered on campus or fully online. Fresno Pacific University. Learn more at fpu.edu.
Fall is here, and it's time to get moving at Valley Athletics. Phil Bonatti from Behind the Bench telling you about new programs coming up. Starting soon, you can sign up for monthly memberships for K through 8th graders working on volleyball, basketball, and strength and agility. It's as little as $15 per class. Speaking of sign-ups, the great facilities there are always available for rentals, including birthday parties. So take advantage of that today, especially as we get to those colder months. You can find all the sign-up information on the website valleyathletics.co. Valley Athletics, developing the athlete in everyone. Just in terms of winning basketball games, what do you make of Fresno State's start through 3-2 right now through the season from what you've seen?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit to show me that this team can at least compete against teams. I felt like last year it was a bit of just dread every time you saw this team, and I feel like this team has really turned it around, and the start of this year has been a little bit better in terms of just seeing something out of this team, and I think this team will vastly improve as the year goes on. They got a good coach, they got a good roster, I think. And I think they will get some things done this year that is going to show some progress from last season, especially.
It's an interesting stretch. Right? Stephen F. Austin tonight. At the Save March Center tonight. Stephen F. Austin right now 4-0. And then they got New Orleans on Friday. I don't know much about New Orleans other than I do know they are a school. They're playing here in town. But
quite a big city, too.
Quite a big city. But outside of that, 7 games in a row. This will cap off a 7-game homestand for this Bulldog side. You don't get that too much in college basketball. And then you start seeing the real tests. Pepperdine, a team that you can beat in the desert potentially in Palm Springs. Whatever the other side of the bracket will look like. They got CSU Bakersfield, who I think is a team they could beat. It'll be competitive at the selling game. That'll have a different juice to it. We know what Arkansas is. You know what Arkansas is. And you know it'll be a miracle maybe the Bulldogs keep it to 30 at a neutral set. I'm not selling them short.
No, for sure.
I think I'm very interested to see what that game looks like because Vance knows John Calipari very well. They're very good friends. And I think that's the reason it's on the schedule for this Bulldog side.
For sure.
Do you take any? Do you with a minute here left before the segment ends? Do those games matter in terms of evaluating a team like this, like the Fresno State, which clearly isn't going to be in the top tier of the Mountain West? Is there anything to take from a game like that on the horizon against a team that I think is going to make the tournament out of a really tough conference in the SEC, like Arkansas? I wonder if there's anything to take from that moving forward, but I don't know.
I think defensively is something I'd like to see. You know, Arkansas is a very high-scoring team. They are able to get to the basket very well. They got some really, really good guards, some 5-star recruits on that team that are currently freshmen. And the defensive side of the ball for Fresno State, I think, is going to be the most important thing because I think offensively you're going to have what you have, but defense is a lot of heart and a lot of just being able to work with the game plan. And so these type of games, I think it's more or less that.
Yeah, Vance talks about rebounding is just so not a skill. It's a mentality per se when it comes to this team. And the interior defense right now needs to be where it is a little bit better on that side. They've gotten a little bit better, but I think it needs to even take another step higher in terms of what they got moving forward. So Bulldogs play tonight. Hopefully people have some fun. That's about in about an hour or so. Stephen F. Austin versus Fresno State tonight on the men's basketball side. All right, let's take a break. Hour number 3 coming up next on 1430 ESPN.
Now that you've gathered all your landscaping ideas at the Fall Home Show, swing by Clovis Stone Masonry and Landscape Supply to bring them to life. Hey contractors and DIYers, Paul Metters here. Clovis Stone is the Valley's go-to playmaker with 6 acres of premium materials ready to roll. Whether you're building big or dialing in the details, Clovis Stone has what you need when you need it. With 24-hour delivery, fast, call-ahead pickup, you can stay on schedule and on budget. Step on the lot today off Sunnyside in Old Town Clovis or online at clovisstone.net.
At FFB, we know behind every business is a person. That's why we're more than a bank. We're a partner, a farming-focused bank for hard workers, a future-forward bank for big dreamers, and a family-friendly bank for the next generation of owners. From first ideas to major milestones, we're here to help you chase your goals and score big. So what can FFB mean for your business? Find out at ffb.bank. That's ffb.bank. FFB Bank. Let's win together.
Get ready for game day with Toledo's Football Party Pack. 2 dips, queso, guacamole, or bean and chorizo. Order online, pick it up fast at any of the 3 locations, and you're set. Or head to Toledo's new sports bar at Cedar and Knees, the Valley's new game day headquarters, for your favorite college and NFL matchups on the big screens. And you'll love their happy hour, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5. Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 10, with $10 apps and $7 house margaritas. Toledo's Mexican restaurant, your winning game plan.
Welcome to Banyan Tree, Fresno's favorite dispensary. Voted 2025's Best of Central California's People's Choice Award. Need some healing and relaxation? From flower to edibles, concentrate to vapes, we've got top shelf products at down-to-earth prices. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just kinda curious, our knowledgeable staff will help you find your perfect match. So climb the Banyan Tree and see how high you can get today. Order ahead at banyantreefresno.com for quick and easy pickup. Banyan Tree, rooted in quality, grown in Fresno.
Your Fresno State Bulldogs are fighting for that Mountain West championship. There's nothing better than rooting for your Bulldogs as they battle it out on the gridiron, representing your city of Fresno. Bring the whole family and get loud cheering on your Bulldogs at Valley Children's Stadium all season long. Be sure to check out GoBulldogs.com today for information on special events and to grab your tickets for upcoming home games. Go Dogs!
You'll find them at every big box hardware store.
Are you sure we carry that?
We've all met at least one, or tried to chase one down. Legally and by all appearances, they are employees.
Customer assistance to hardware.
But they are the unhelpfuls.
Do any of you know where I can find one?
Nope. Because sometimes the hardest thing to find at a big box store is help. So you should probably come to Fresno Ag Hardware. All the hardware you need and the help to find it.
A what?
At Clausen Honda in Fresno, you're not just getting a car, you're stepping into a full service experience. From the latest new Honda models to certified pre-owned vehicles, a cafe to grab your morning coffee, and a team dedicated to making you feel respected and well served. Whether you're trading in, buying, or scheduling service for your ride, Clausen Honda has you covered with transparent financing, a full service center. Drive in today and see how easy getting behind the wheel can be. Clausen Honda at 6346 North Blackstone Avenue in Fresno.
There's only one. West Coast? West Coast Exhaust and Off-Road. Hey folks, Steve Johnson here from West Coast Exhaust and Off-Road. For over 20 years, my crew and I have been keeping rides running rides. From cars and trucks to side-by-sides, ready to roll into the season. Whether you need a tune-up, oil change, or full custom build, bring it to the crew that loves what we do. Get your rig ready for fall and winter adventures with a $100 suspension inspection. Only at West Coast Exhaust and Off-Road. Check out our 5-star Google reviews and swing by in Fresno, just west of Shaw and Brawley, or online at westcoastexhaustandoffroad.com.
Home for high school sports. 1430 ESPN, the Valley's local sports leader. KFIG Fresno.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Good night of college hoops at Madison Square Garden. It's the State Farm Champions Classic. First game of the night, Kentucky and Michigan State. And the Spartans are up by 17, 58-41, 12-20 to go in that one. Michigan State coming in the number 17 team in the country. Kentucky at number 12. Spartans 3-0, Wildcats at 3-1. Jackson Kohler has been good for Michigan State tonight. He's got a team-high 14 points on 6 of 8 from the field. Kurt Tang with 13 off the bench on 5 of 9 shooting for Michigan State, just under 50% from the field. Been a struggle for Kentucky from the floor, just 37%, and been better in the second half as they try and find their way back into it. Denzel Aberdeen and Otega Owe leading the way, each with 9. Owe on 3 of 8 from the field. Play-by-play continues on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app with Duke and Kansas to follow. Tip-off at 9 Eastern. Kansas freshman Darren Peterson will not play tonight with a hamstring injury, the projected number 1 pick in the NBA draft next summer. In the NBA, Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo will miss 1 to 2 weeks with a low-grade groin strain. Giannis leaving last night's loss to the Cavs in the first quarter, averaging just under 33 points and 11 rebounds per game through his first 12 this season. In the NFL, Texans are ruling out quarterback C.J. Stroud for Thursday night against the Bills. Did not clear concussion protocol.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Wednesday's show, Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner with his weekly NFL breakdown joins us. Same thing with Dodgers catcher and World Series hero Will Smith, plus my brand new NFL Power Rankings. That's Wednesday on The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks, but super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader here on this Tuesday 3-hour show. Actually, our only 3-hour show of the week for you there. So only time you'll hear us from 5 to 6 this week for you. So little special rare edition on this week as we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving. Yes, that's 9 days away, and Ace is here, and I feel like I just gave you the Tuesday before Thanksgiving scaries.
My mom called me and was like, "So what are we doing for Thanksgiving?" And I'm like, "Thanksgiving's like 2-3 weeks away. Like, what are you talking about?" And then so you said 10 days away, and I'm like
9 days away.
9 days away, and I'm like, "Oh crap, it is."
Are we getting the Thanksgiving scaries? Like suddenly, like we're this close to Thanksgiving. My goodness, like
what happened?
What happened to the year? What happened to the month of November?
It's been a blur.
I blinked and it's November.
I'll be honest with you. This has been moving faster for me, and this is only for one reason. This whole stretch is I'm enjoying football.
So when you don't enjoy football, this
my
year,
goodness,
it's just a slog.
Sir, 2022 and 2023, I wanted the fall to end so fast. I wanted to get out of NFL season faster than anyone. And it would never let me leave. I had to watch Bailey Zappi play a Broncos team on a Saturday night Amazon game. I don't even know what it was.
It was absolutely terrible.
You remember that game?
Yeah.
You know what?
And you were doing mock drafts in November.
Yeah, I was dying. Not doing that this year.
No,
not doing that. I can't rest enough about these teams.
I don't care who I pick with the 30th.
Hey, look at all of us. Winning. We're rooting for winning teams. We got to feel great about ourselves, right?
I know. I can't do mock drafts. Jags don't have a first-round pick anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter.
I said in the first hour, I'm like, what if Ashton Genty was on the Jags instead of on the Raiders? And I felt like that would have been a better situation.
For Ashton Genty, yeah.
Yeah. Be an interesting.
I have a bit about that, but that's for later.
I wanted to bring something up to you. I was going to tell you off air, but I want to tell you on air because we have a situation with our producers right now. First of all,
okay,
there's a vote going on, or at least it ended. I think it ended on our Instagram page of who's the better producer versus Tanvir and Daniel.
Are we doing this? Are we doing this still?
But I'm not.
I think we won.
You did
not
win.
100% sure.
I think you ended up winning, but that's beside the point.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't care.
Beside the point. So Chloe is a producer on the Friday show, right? And she asked for a picture of both them and her and Sergio and Daniel and Tanvir producing, right?
Okay.
So she makes the poll Monday, posts the pictures on Monday. School started at Fresno City about August, right?
Okay.
Classes, fair to say?
Yep.
They both, Chloe and Daniel, both go to Fresno City College. They've never interacted here, which frankly I'm kind of crazy to think that they haven't.
That they work in the same office and
yeah,
have
but
never
they've
met?
never. Yeah. So, but they've been texting each other all fall about all these different intern projects and whatever stuff they do. Anything like that. It has become to my attention today that they both realize they are in the same journalism class.
Are you for real?
That is about 25 people deep.
Dude.
And I lost it.
How does that not come up during the icebreaker? I'm a producer for ESPN. That's a cool thing that you share about yourself. How does that not come up?
I lost my mind. This generation.
That's silly.
I don't want to do the just generation cock. That's just simply crazy. That
it boggled my mind when in the group chat that we all have together, me, Daniel, Sergio, and Chloe, that they found out in real time and texted in real time that they saw each other in class. It was absolutely one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
That's silly.
Like, I can't think of a situation where my mind would be blown more than that situation of realizing, like,
that you've like been coworkers with someone for actual months
and you didn't know, and they were in the room together with you since August in the same room.
Silly does not. I am.
I called it
my
idiotic.
flatters have been gasted.
I called it idiotic in the morning.
I wouldn't go that far.
Unless this class is at 6 in the morning, they have no excuse for what has transpired over the last 3 months.
How does that even happen?
I don't even know. I just the lack of awareness.
3 months ago.
The lack of awareness. It's like I don't know. It's like I can't even describe
Geno
it.
Smith. No.
I was like about to say Geno Smith in the pocket. Is that where I was like trying to think of a quarterback, a horrible quarterback in the pocket?
Geno Smith.
My mind went to Blake Bortles, and I want to do that too.
Blake Bortles was. I mean,
hey,
we'll talk about Blake Bortles later. Anyway,
hey, print the shirts. He had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter in New England in the AFC Championship.
He did.
And
Miles Jack.
We were not friends yet, and I don't think we would be friends if we watched that game together.
No.
Honestly,
I'm glad we never watched that game because that probably would have been like a make or break
you would have
moment.
never. You would have. Yeah, it was.
I'd be like, no,
this guy
not doing it.
This guy. When Stephon Gilmore knocked that ball away, I ascended.
I don't think I watched that game, but I can't remember why I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I remember I saw the memes and I watched the replay and I'm like, oh man, I would need a new television.
I kind of choked up a little bit. I saw Black Bortles with that tear.
With the tear, yeah.
I was like, oh
because
man,
he knew it was over.
That was like that was it. That was the chance. That was the fighting chance for this team in terms of getting to that. We're by the way, we're careening down to that 2017 style kind of season right now.
A little bit, yeah.
We're getting to the meme of just Case Keenum and Nick Foles and Tom Brady and
and plus
Blake
it doesn't
Bortles.
help that the Jags have a pretty good running game and like a mid quarterback that's okay when he doesn't turn the ball over.
Well, I think this is good to transfer to our next topic here, which I want to go to the 5 of 5 right now because I think I have a fun game to play in the next segment.
Oh, sick.
So we want to go to the 5 of 5 now because this season has been fun, has had a lot of interesting twists and turns, and I would even argue sometimes confusing moments with what we are seeing transpire among teams that are playing right now in this National Football League, to the point where I don't know if we can quite read some teams with what we believe and how they've performed. So I set up a 5 of 5 here today where I've simply said, what are the 5 most confusing teams to you? It can be teams of any record, but you personally just don't know what they are and have any sort of good read on them as a team and where they could go and what they are and why they are the way they are. And I found this is a fun exercise, and I wonder if you guys share the same sentiment. I think this is an interesting top 5 list that we're going to go after here right now.
My money is that I think we all have the same number 1, but we'll find out.
I have an interesting number 1.
I think we'll all have a different number 1.
I think we'll all have a different.
Okay,
yeah, I
we'll
certainly
see.
think. So let's play the intro first.
It's time now for Phil's 5 at 5.
So my criteria, I don't know if I have it's more of like I see it's just results based in terms for me. It's just like there's things I see, there's things that happen, there's teams they beat, then there's teams they lose to, and I think that's quite simply the math I go about it. And maybe it's more of also I see these statistical anomalies from these teams, and I just don't understand how it's not consistent. Maybe it's a lack of consistency. I don't know what qualifies for you guys in terms of most confusing for you.
I was about to call you the vibes guy, and then you kept going.
Yeah, vibes. It's also a vibes. It could be a vibes. What about you, Tanvir?
Yeah, I think it's definitely statistical inconsistency and also the wins and losses, understanding who you've beat and who you more or less have not beat. Depending on what your schedule is. So, yeah, that's what it is for me.
So, without further ado, we'll start with
number 5.
I'll go with the Arizona Cardinals here at number 5.
Oh, that's a good one.
How about that interesting 5-game losing streak where I think it was 13 points they lost by combined. They've been in a lot of different games this season, and then they kind of fell off to the tail end of it. But then again, they go set passing records against this Niners squad from last week as well. 47 for 57 from Jacoby Brissett. 47, by the way, the most completions ever in National Football League history.
That's crazy.
In a single game, it
That's
happened.
dumb.
And that's Arizona. Arizona just confounding ways to lose. The Tennessee game, strange game into it. I really think the Cardinals have pieces here that in a different world could play out to be like a 6-4 team right now at this point of the season. I think they could be in a conversation if you really consider how things have gone. If Kyler's a little healthier, maybe things change in terms of it. I don't know if it completely changes, but I think this Cardinals team is better than the record outside of it. And then, of course, when Seattle comes, they just don't know how to play football. But outside of that, I have the Cardinals here in my entry at number 5.
So I'm going to do an honorable mention of the Jets because I don't know. Then I started thinking about it, and it got a little bit too easy and too low hanging fruit.
No, you're fine.
I am genuinely confused by the Cowboys because I didn't know until yesterday, before the game ended, that the Cowboys had only won 3 games.
Until they got to 4.
They got to 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
But I was like looking at it, I'm like, I thought they were better than that. Or I thought they were doing better. When the hell did that happen? And so I'm like watching the game with Steph, and she's not having a good time. And I'm like, I don't understand. I thought they were better than this.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I have no stats to back
Cowboys
that
are
up.
confusing. It's a good entry. I think we're going to get a wide range of different teams here. What do you got, Tanvir?
Well, not on this one because I also have the Arizona Cardinals. At number 5. I saw them play last week, and they got absolutely dominated for 4 quarters, even though they did score 22 points. I just want people to know this team was 2-0 to start the year.
Yeah.
And ever since then, they have had the weirdest run. They lost by 1 to the 49ers, 3 to the Seahawks. I would say 2 decent to good teams. I mean, they're both good teams to me. They lost by 1 to the Titans. Titans only win of the season so far.
Yep.
Only lost by 4 to the Packers, 4 to the Colts. They beat the Cowboys by 10, and now they've gotten destroyed. 44-22 to the Seahawks, 41-22 to the 49ers. So it has been the weirdest season for me. This team has pieces, as you said. Trey McBride. They had James Conner, but they lost him to the season.
I think James Conner, if he was healthy, this is like a
much better team.
This is a playoff conversation team.
Yeah, and then you still have Marvin Harrison Jr. Their defense, I feel like, has been the exact same for like 5 seasons. You know, you have guys. You put in guys that are good free agents, like Josh Sweat, who's having actually a pretty good season so far. Walter Nolan, a good defensive player. But, like, statistically speaking, this is, like, a pretty middle-of-the-road defense. So this has been a very weird team for me for the last 5 years, and they've continued it into this season.
Great entry.
Number 4.
I'll pick your team, Asa. I'll go Jaguars here next.
That's valid.
Are we going? Are we okay? All right.
Are you guys doubling up?
The exact same number 4 as well.
I got Jaguars here, just simply on the idea of they have been world beaters at the beginning of the season. You know, I like beating Houston. I like beating San Francisco. I like beating Kansas City down that stretch. And suddenly we're sitting there talking Duval as like a team that's going to be a team that people run through in the AFC. And then you go and absolutely struggle against the Raiders and stopping that offense for some reason.
Yep.
You cannot stop the Texans offense, which is just anemic at that point, leaking brain fluid at that point.
Well, they were
starting
leaking,
the fourth quarter.
brain fluid, and then the fourth quarter happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, what happened?
And then you go do something to a Jim Harbaugh team that no other team ever in National Football League history has done, which is beat them by at least 29 points.
He benched Justin Herbert with like 10 minutes ago.
It was
in the
a punt from the Chargers in terms of that. You bullied them so hard that they turned into it. And it's an interesting team because you got now tiebreakers above teams that I think people feel maybe are a more talented base, but the Jaguars have some strange wins on their resume and some strange losses from the other side of it as well. You know, the Panthers win is looking a lot better for you guys. The Bengals loss looks inexplicable to me.
Yep.
The Jaguars is a very strange team at number 4.
I have the Saints.
Okay.
Because I don't understand how you end up having less than like $1 million in cap room.
With the roster they.
Because I think that they have like $900,000, and it's like, my guy, my dude,
You're paying for what?
What is even? Because you could at least be able to be like, okay, like this person like is tying up a lot of money, yada yada. Who do they have?
Yeah.
Isn't Drake London still like on his rookie deal or something?
It's like buying a used car at like $15,000.
That'd be Chris Olave.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'm thinking of the Falcons. Pinning that for later. But I don't understand. Like, what are they going to be able to field a team next year? Like, I know the cap is fake, but my goodness,
they legally have to. so
I got Saints at number 4.
All right.
Yeah, I had it similar to him where, like, I didn't understand the construct of the team. That's why I had the Bengals, but I removed the Bengals. But I have the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. I am very confused how Trevor Lawrence has not lived up to expectations. Clemson Trevor Lawrence, to me, is one of the best quarterbacks that we've seen in college in so long. And now you have I would say, one of the best offensive minds in the NFL, and Liam Cohen there, and he still has not showed up. He still has not been the quarterback that we thought he is. But the running game is absolutely insane. They have a very good running game, very good 1-2 combo in Tootin and Travis Etienne. But like the team, again, as you said, the losses are weird, the wins are weird. How you go from barely beating the Raiders in overtime, losing to the Texans, then absolutely destroying the Chargers, which is weird because I did pick the Jags to win that game last week, and it was one of the weirdest picks that I've had in a while because there was no logic to it. But
just a feel.
Yeah, exactly. So I have the Jaguars at 4.
Next up,
number 3.
I had the Green Bay Packers here at number 3. It's so strange the way they started this year. And you sit here and think, okay, this team's kind of like a defensive juggernaut with an offense that just needs to do enough to make it happen. And we're waiting for Jordan Love to kind of turn the corner, and then they go lay an egg against Cleveland, and then you almost feel like they did against Dallas in what could arguably be, Jordan Love. I guarantee you, probably love to play Dallas 17 out of 17 games for his career, because he'd be Tom Brady 07. He'd be banning 2014 if he was that in terms of it. But outside of it, Jordan Love has I want to believe in Jordan Love, but it's just not been there for this Green Bay Packers squad, which should be schemed as one of the best offenses out there in the National Football League, and yet they continue to struggle and get stagnant and can't find ways to get short yardage situations. They have one of theoretically the best running backs out there, and Josh Jacobs, who was incredible the last couple of years. I understand the offensive unit has struggled to find consistent targets from the wide receiver position, but I mean, I believe LaFleur is a decent coach and able to scheme some guys into some situations, but at 6-3-1, the record feels good, and yet confoundingly enough, it feels like they haven't played a great game all season outside of week 1. It is a confusing team, and that's why I got them at number 3.
I cannot stop defending this team. Stephanie, I love you. The Raiders. What happened?
Yeah, we ripped into them.
What happened? Like, I thought Steph has never had hope for the Raiders because we are cut from the same cloth in that we both of our teams are bad until they prove us otherwise. I thought they had the pieces this year. They got Geno's coming off like a monster year with Seattle. Or that monster was it wasn't Seattle. Was it Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was coming off that monster year with Seattle, and then Brock Bowers basically should have gotten Rookie Offensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, whatever. He should have won that. Jacoby Myers catches everything that is ever thrown to him, and I thought maybe the defense gets it together this year, and then Pete Carroll just rights the ship, and then it just hasn't happened. So, some of the worst football I think I have seen this year happened on the Monday night game, and even then, I still either that maybe they just have the worst luck this year, because even in that last overtime play that Geno Smith threw, Tyler Lockett was open in the end zone. That would have won the game. That's it. Mm-hmm. And that, I just my flabbers have been gasted.
What do you got, Tanvir?
My number 3 is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
This team is so consistently mid that I do not understand how they have not had a shakeup. I understand why, because they want to keep that consistency. They feel like they can add pieces, but I just don't understand how a team is so consistently 9-8, and they are on. I mean, they're 6-4 right now. Aaron Rodgers is going to be maybe out for a couple of games, so I would imagine they lose those games, get to 6-6, and we're fighting for the Steelers are fighting for a 7 seed once again. I think they're the most expensive defense in the NFL, and yet they have not been putting up gaudy numbers on the defensive side of the ball. I think if you look at just their pass defense, they're still middle of the road. They're literally 16th in terms of pass defense. And in terms of run defense, when you got guys like TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward along that defensive line, and you're bottom 6 in rush defensive effectiveness, it's just not a combination for a good team, and yet they're still above 500 by the grace of God. So I don't understand this team at all. This is why it's number 3. Maybe I should have had it at number 2, honestly.
Maybe.
Number 2.
I got the Buffalo Bills here as a team. The Buffalo Bills, who I just don't understand how the offense just like doesn't overcome like what is presented in front of them. It feels like the scariest offense in terms of it, and yet they go out and have games where you play Atlanta and you can only score 14 points on that defense, and you go out and you can only put up 13 points on the Miami Dolphins as a team, and just totally show up as you know, a team that can't figure things out in terms of it. And then you go have games where you feel like nothing is going to stop Josh Allen other than himself when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in those games. They go beat Kansas City in an impressive fashion. It's like I see this greatness in this Bills team, and yet there is just a situation or time where they get in their own head offensively. Defensively, we know what their issues are, but offensively, man, Buffalo's, it's so weird. It is such a weird team where any given week you could see them just totally, like, they'll go to Pittsburgh in a couple weeks maybe, and you could totally see them struggle to get to 14 in that game for some reason. It's just one of those things with this Buffalo Bills team that makes no sense to me. That's why I got it at number 2.
I got the Falcons at number 2.
Okay.
Because I'm still mad about them drafting Michael Penix. I'm not mad, but I'm still just like, what the hell are you guys doing? Because, like, why are you going to pay Christian Kirk? Why are you going to pay Kirk Cousins $1 bazillion to ride Pine and then draft a quarterback, like, in the first round? Like, that's fine if you want to draft, like, a project quarterback, like, I don't know, second, third round. I don't know, anything after 1. But why are you going to – because you have Michael Penix's fifth-year option, and theoretically speaking, he could have started by the time he's 30, by the time that Kirk Cousins' contract is up.
Yeah.
And then he blows out both of his knees, and I think Kirk Cousins is also hurt.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you doing now?
Falcons already. The fired coach situation, the hot zone is certainly the hot seat.
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
playing for Atlanta.
It is sizzling.
No, it was a consideration for me. Tanvir, what do you got to do?
Yeah, my number 2 is also the Atlanta Falcons. This team, I don't know how you can have a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL and Drake London, and you can have a top 3 running back in the NFL, and arguably 4, I guess, right now, in Bijan Robinson, and you have regressed on the offensive side of the ball. I think Darnell Mooney is just not the same guy he was last year, and yet they can go out there and defeat the Buffalo Bills and then just get absolutely trounced by a San Francisco 49ers team that was absolutely injured to all hell. So I don't understand this team at all. There's one team that I don't understand more than this team.
I think we have the same one.
But no, we don't. This is just one of those teams where if I was a fan of them, I would be so extremely frustrated with how this team is set up for the future and how they are right now.
Number 1.
I have the Denver Broncos at number 1.
Oh.
Is a team at 9-2 who has, you want to guess how many times they've beaten a team by double digits this season? The answer is twice. And it's been on the 2 worst defenses in maybe the history of football between the Bengals and the Cowboys. Outside of that, they have been a cat with 9 lives. Honestly, though, after a weird Colts game and their loss, that game was given to the Broncos until the Colts had a nice little break from the refs in that game. But outside of that, the Broncos have shown some strange ways to win football games, some situations where Bo Nix is quite simply, literally, doing the least amount to basically win these football games for him, and yet they do it. They beat the Chiefs. I don't believe in the Broncos just simply off their resume. 2-point win over New York Jets. Come on. 3-point win over the Texans, not too bad. 3-point win over the Raiders, what are we doing? 1-point win over the Giants in that crazy, psychotic comeback, but yet they beat the Eagles, one of 2 teams to say they can do that. The Broncos' resume is confounding to me, and I don't know how they are 9-2.
I have the Browns
Okay.
Because I remember being at Porch Fest. I ran into Vic, my buddy Vic from Milan Society. He's like a big, he's from Cleveland, so he's a big Browns fan. And I'm like, hey man, can you tell me why you have 5 quarterbacks on the roster? And he's like, dude, I have no idea. You draft 2 rookie quarterbacks, which is, I think, banana sandwiches. That's a bad move.
Shoot
they
your
got
shot.
Deshaun Watson, which I'm pretty sure they just keep him on the injury report because it's like if we trot you out there, the fans will riot.
Certainly.
And people will we'll have Browns Jags again. But I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. You draft 2 quarterbacks, you're developing neither of them.
Yep. Absolutely. Great pick on the Browns. What do you got, Tanvir? Wrap it up.
I love that he said you draft 2 quarterbacks, you're developing neither of them. That's literally perfect. But I kind of understand them. Their offense is just terrible, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't have them in my top 5. But I have the Green Bay Packers as my number 1 team. So it was a team that you listed, just not the same team as you had at number 1. Statistically speaking, this Green Bay Packers, in terms of how well they've been playing offensively, they're top 5, I would say, statistically speaking. But you look at this team and what the performances they've put out. Sure, they don't have Tucker Kraft. Sure, the receivers are not there. But Jordan Love is now in his 4th year, 3rd year of playing, and this guy has been touted as the next great quarterback for this team, and yet I just don't see the dominance against some of these defenses that are just not that good. Giants defense, they barely beat them by 7 points, and that was a good game by Jordan Love. But then, I go earlier in the year, they got 40-pieced by the Dallas Cowboys. They tied that game. They only scored 10 against the Browns, which is a very good defense, but how are you only scoring 10 against the Browns? And I think their rushing game has regressed a little bit. Josh Jacobs, I think, is a very, very good running back, but I think if they want to have those Super Bowl aspirations that they once had, and especially after that Week 1 game where they destroyed the Lions, we thought this Green Bay Packers team was going to be Super Bowl bound out of the NFC, and yet since that game, I have not seen anything to give me the hope that Jordan Love is going to put this team above what they have been the last couple of years, which is, they made the divisional round. They lost to the 49ers in the divisional round. They lost in the wild card last year to the Eagles. So we'll see what they do. They got some new weapons on the defense with Micah Parsons, and yet their rushing defense has been pretty much the same. I don't know. This team confuses me to all hell as well.
Great lists.
That was Phil's 5 at 5.
It ain't Tanvir's. All right, we're overdue for a break. Let's take one now. We'll be right back on 1430 ESPN.
ESPN Fresno is proud to bring back the Student Athlete of the Week. Each week, we'll honor a local high school standout for their performance on the field, in the gym, or on the court. It's our way of celebrating the hard work, dedication, and talent of Valley athletes who give it their all. And it all leads to Student Athlete of the Year. Do you have an athlete you believe is worthy of this award? Enter them in at 1430ESPNFresno.com today. The Student Athlete of the Week, shining a spotlight on the stars of tomorrow.
Are you an athlete ready to level up your performance the raw way? Introducing the Raw Athlete Program from Raw Farm. High schoolers, gym warriors, and pros. Submit now to join and get a free raw milk drop and protein powder for recovery drinks. 100% A2A2 cream top whole raw milk from seasonally grass-raised cows, non-GMO, certified humane, and crafted for serious gains. Perform like a raw athlete. Visit rawfarmusa.com to submit today. Find it at your local Sprouts location.
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to tame your healthcare needs. We fill most prescriptions in 15 minutes or less, always accepting new patients. And enjoy free delivery to your home or workplace in Fresno and Clovis. We accept all major insurance, including Medi-Cal, Blue Cross, and Optum Rx. For our Clovis location, please call 559-324-1808 or visit grizzlypharmacy.com for more information.
Get your business noticed and stand out from the crowd by visiting Megaprints. Working with the Valley's most prestigious and high-profile businesses since 1998, we print and install custom-designed signs for businesses of all types and sizes. From yard signs to banners to wallpaper and fleet graphics, Megaprints has the state-of-the-art capability to turn the signage you've dreamed of into a reality. Visit megaprints.com today to see our work and what we can do for your business.
I'm here at the Roger Dunn Open. Former Fresno State football coach Pat Hill is at the first tee.
Hey, it's a fairway hit.
Yeah, but that's the wrong fairway, Coach.
I need to buy a golf game.
Coach, I really think you need a Roger Dunn makeover.
When you buy a game at Roger Dunn, you can play anybody anytime, anywhere. This is the old coach, Pat Hill. I caught this 7-iron at Roger Dunn Golf. Number 8 at Tehama, 162 yards out. Eagle, baby!
The deadline to receive the 30% federal solar tax credit is December 31st. That's the day your new solar system must be operational. The deadline to call Donald P. Dick is Friday, November 21st. A new solar system starts at under $10,000. Donald P. Dick will provide a proposal with all the details for you to make an informed decision. Let Mr. Cool show you how to drive down the cost of home energy. Call 559-255-1644 for Donald P. Dick.
Hey, Fresno and Clovis sports fans, if you're near the Fresno State area, check out Ichi Shabu at Campus Point, right next to Maya Cinemas. It's modern shabu-shabu Japanese hot pot where you cook fresh meats and seafood right at your table in rich, flavorful broth. It's a fun way to eat and a great spot to relax before or after the game. And for all ESPN listeners, you'll get 10% off your bill when you use promo code ESPN10, valid now through November 30th. Ichi Shabu at Campus Point. Good food, good friends, and a new way to enjoy hot pot.
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
Bench on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Continuing on with our show here, hour number 3 of our show. All right, let's do a little fun, quick segment here for the folks at home. Got an interesting development, of course, in the Mountain West with the way the standings have transpired here, and there is 7 contenders. Or 7 teams contending, 6 teams contending. You could qualify Utah State in that conversation. I wouldn't say they're totally out of it, but at 3-3 in the conference, it's almost over.
Yeah, mathematically and realistically are 2 different things.
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying there's a chance. Asa, first of all, you survived. I saw you at the football game. You lasted the entire 3 hours and 30 minutes that was performed football-wise on that field on Saturday.
I'm a little waterlogged, but you know what? I'm better for it.
Did you get the water out of your ears?
I did.
Oh, by the way, for the folks at home, Tim Veer, I don't know if you heard this story. Ace and I got on the Kiss Cam.
We got on the Kiss Cam.
This is news to me.
So
Do tell.
We were trying to do a bit. We were doing the Coldplay bit, and we started to assume the position of the Coldplay bit, as friends do.
No, we didn't do the.
We didn't really get into it.
No, we were doing the bit where it's like, hey Phil, what if we kissed at Valley Children's Stadium and got on the Kiss Cam? And then we got on the Kiss Cam.
And so I immediately just heel turn and run down the row, and he's chasing me, and the whole camera is following us, and I see ourselves running away on the Jumbotron like I'm a running back, like I'm Derrick Henry running in a touchdown. And I thought there was a good chuckle from the stands.
I wish I got to see it. Yeah. I didn't, because I was too busy committing to the bit and also trying not to fall.
Yeah, exactly. But that was the first time we got on the
I've never been on a Kiss Cam before, and I can't believe it was with you.
Before Steph.
That being the first time is hilarious.
Is Steph jealous?
I don't know. I'm going to find out when I get home.
Because I need to know. Hey.
I'll report back.
We make a cute couple.
We do. Damn straight.
All right. So that was it. What did you think of the game? What did you think of Fresno State?
I knew that game was going to be a slog, and I was right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't even remember what the final score was.
24-3.
I'm cool with that. I'm 100% cool with that.
The kiss cam just erased his memory of the game.
Honestly, yeah, I kind of blacked out after
It was
that.
like a Men in Black situation where he gets the flash, and suddenly he just forgets what he was doing the last 4 hours.
Yeah, kind of.
Is this like? I know Coach Entz literally is the last person to care what the Bulldog fans think in terms of style of football and what people want to see outside of it being successful. I'd imagine that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll say it out loud, but as a football coach, I think that's the last thing you would care about is like, is it aesthetically pleasing football for people to watch, or is it winning football that matters the most?
I just think if you want high flying football, go watch LSU or some other school.
LSU's a strange choice.
I don't know, man.
Maybe not this year.
Yeah, not this year.
Not this
but
year's
like,
LSU.
I'm not gonna.
Aces
Yeah.
Dynasty LSU. That's what.
Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah.
Where I throw the ball 50 times.
Yes,
Anyway,
you do. Yes, you do.
I don't go if you don't like this particular brand of like Bulldog football, like go watch something else then, because obviously, like you're just like, what are you watching it for then?
Yeah.
The team is winning. What is it? Fresno State's 7-3,
7-3,
Yeah.
4-2 in the conference.
Like what more do you want?
Fresno State.
I don't know what could. They're winning.
We still have scored less points than we have given up, by the way, this year.
That's a weird stat. I didn't know that.
No, in the conference. I'm sorry. Correction. That's in the conference. If Fresno State has scored less points in the conference than they have given up.
I think that's crazier because I thought you were putting the Kansas game into that, but you're not. So
No.
it's the San Diego State blowout and the Colorado State loss, obviously.
118 scored, 120 given up for the Fresno State.
Ooh,
Bulldogs.
so close.
-2 point differential in conference. All right, I want to play a game. It's a contender or pretender. We're going to do one of those classic radio segments right now with the 6 teams left in the Mountain West, and whether you feel like they're a contender or pretender through this Mountain West season.
Ooh, okay.
And what are we going to see them in the Mountain West Championship? Now, you can have more than 2 contenders. You can feel like another team is going to be in there, but we're qualifying it to the top 6 with San Diego State, Fresno State, Boise State, New Mexico, UNLV, and Hawaii. So we'll quite simply just go down the line here. Give me a contender or pretender, and why don't we do the reverse order of what we did in the 5 at 5? Let's start with Tanvir, go to Asa, then go to me. Is that okay? So
yeah, sure.
Tanvir, we're going to start right at the top. I would say San Diego State. Are they a contender or a pretender from what you've seen this year?
That is a contender of all contenders in the Mountain West this year. Their defense is absolutely amazing. I think they've been top 5 in defensive effectiveness this year. And, I think it's similar to kind of like the Fresno State. Like their offense just gets it done, but I think their offense is a little bit better. The quarterback play is a little bit better than what we have here at Fresno State, but the defense is what's really carrying this team. And I was talking earlier, I think San Diego State could be one of the 6 teams that can make the college football playoff if they were to win out and win the Mountain West Championship and have a couple of things go their way. They could be one of those. For me, there's like a group of 6 in the group of 5, which is a weird thing to say. But there's a group of 6 teams that I think could make that 12th seed, and San Diego State is one of them. So that's why I think I have them at contender as well.
I think that's a good one.
What do you got, Asa?
I think they're in the running.
Okay.
They have to be. I think, aren't they like the number 1 defense like in the Mountain West?
Yeah, they're the only team that hasn't given up triple digits in scoring right
Yeah,
now.
that's crazy. No.
86 points given up in the conference this year at 6 games.
Yeah.
So it's a little by a tick. It's like 12, 13, 14 points per game right now defensively.
Yeah.
In the conference. Even after, by the way, giving up 38 to Hawaii. Just a heads up.
What?
Here are the other score totals they've given up in the Mountain West. 24 to Colorado State, 10 to Nevada, none to Fresno State, 7 to Wyoming, 7 to Boise, 38 to Hawaii.
That's crazy.
I want to go contrarian and want to pick pretender, but I think...
Oh, brother.
I think I kind of want to, just in the sense of I haven't been sold on the offensive output from this team just quite yet, and I think they're kind of in the mirror of Fresno State a little bit in terms of the makeup of the team, but does that make them pretender in the context of the conference? I don't think so. I'm putting it. I'm not like full blown going to the contender side with San Diego State, but I think it's lean more contender than pretender in terms of it. But I'm wary. I'm wary of if their offense puts them into troubles, especially if they're falling behind in a game, where it can take them. But I think they are right there. All right, Fresno State, contender, pretender.
I think that of the remaining teams, they're the best team. So I'm going to say contender as well. I think that their defense has been playing lights out this year. You know, I raved about San Diego State's defense earlier, but I think Fresno State's defense, they're top like 25 in basically every department. I think they're like 25 in passing defense and like 10th in rushing defense, or it's flipped or something like that. But they have been really, really good. The rushing attack, I think, is the best rushing attack in the Mountain West by far, in my opinion, because of the amount of good running backs that they have. And I think they can ride those two things to a Mountain West championship. I think running game and defense travels regardless of where you're playing. And so that's why I think Fresno State is a contender.
I'm also going to say contender, but I'm going to give it the caveat of I think it's a weak contender. I think a lot of things have to go right. And that's kind of my qualm with the Fresno State offense is that, yes, you were right. Like, Tanvir's 100% correct. Like, the defense is playing lights out. I think Nick Benedetto is up for, like, another Mountain West, like, defensive coordinator, like, of the week. I think it's, like, his third or fourth one or something this year. And I think that counts for a lot, but I think the weak link is that if the running game gets shut down, like, Fresno State has nothing to fall back on. Like, not unless Coach Entz is going to let Conklin sling it.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is going to happen.
I think Fresno State is a contender here, just simply on the idea of what they do on defense. I do think they have dynamic ability to, when they play ahead, an ability to wrap around a game and control it like a boa constrictor and really suck the life out of an offense when it's keyed in on it. Like I said, I think they have the two best corner duo, considerably one of the top corner duos in college football this year. Jakari Embry and Azilian Hamilton. I think those guys have been the unsung heroes for this defense, and I think they're a contender simply because they have a lot of elite guys around on that defensive side.
You guys know Fresno State is still ahead of San Diego State in points per game, regardless of what we want to say about this offense.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yes, 250.
That's fun.
They've outscored San Diego State overall by 5 points total this year.
Hey, that works. We take those.
259 to San Diego's 254. Boise State, contender, pretender?
Pretender.
Yeah.
After their loss to Fresno State, it really showed me that this team does not have it in them to win this conference. I think obviously the loss of Ashton Genty and their defensive lineman was rough, but still, you expected them to be better than they are right now, and they got absolutely trounced 2 weeks in a row. I don't see how they recover. Sure, they can win out, but I don't see them getting to the championship. And even if they did, I think they would get blown out by either of these teams. So this is a pretender for me.
I'm 100% pretender. I don't think they got any juice. They got no juice.
Yeah, you're hating on their Twitter sphere.
Twitter sphere aside, I'm just like, if I don't know, like watching Fresno State just kind of bend them over a table, I'm like, no, it ain't happening.
Let's roll quickly through these things. I got pretender as well for Boise. Of all the echo the same sentiments as well. Let's run quickly here through the next three. New Mexico, contender, pretender.
I think they're a pretender as well. I mean, they're kind of middle of the road. They're currently sitting at 6th in offensive points per game and 6th in points allowed per game. I think they're a decent team, but I don't see how they can be a contender this year.
I'm going to say pretender, but I'm mad about it because I think they're getting hot at the right time, but I think the stars are not going to align for them.
I like contender here for them, just simply they've played close games. They've won close games. I know it's games against teams of lesser caliber, but they do have the UNLV win, which I think is a really nice win a couple of weeks ago. And their path is interesting, especially they can screw things up with the San Diego game down the stretch at the tail end of it. So I like soft contender here from New Mexico. UNLV, Tanvir, what do you got?
Yeah, it's weird that I'm going to say this is a contender and New Mexico isn't because New Mexico beat them. But I just think that if you can score points on end, you always have a chance. And this UNLV offense is currently averaging 36.6 points per game, which is 4 points more than the next best team, which is Utah State. Yes, early on in the year, they didn't have the impressive wins. And yes, the Mountain West Conference has not been there for them, but their offense is cooking right now, so I can give them a chance at any game.
I'm going to say Pretender. I don't buy into it, especially after getting blown the hell out by Boise State. I don't buy it.
I think they're a pretender in terms of their defensive capability. I think the offense is, from the flip side perspective of how good Fresno State and San Diego State's defenses are, you could argue, these offensive units at the same caliber. But on the flip side, how fraudulent maybe the offenses are for those teams. This defense is as leaky as it can be. And they got a premier offense coming in their building on Friday in Hawaii. So I'm going to go pretender as well. Speaking of Hawaii, what do you got there, Tanvir, to round us up?
I feel like if this was going to be played in Hawaii, they would be a contender. But the road aspect of it, I'm going to say pretender. I think that this is a good team. I just think that I don't trust them to go on the road to a San Diego State or on the road to a Fresno State and win those games. So I'm going to say pretender.
I say contender. I think this offense has juice.
Okay.
That's all I got.
I wanted to say contender until I saw the result against San Jose. And it's just so hard to trust them on the road to win games like that. But they did something Fresno State didn't do, was win the Colorado State. So, go figure at that. They are capable of exploding like they can be on offense, especially the passing yardage with what they did. One of the few teams in college football that's averaging 300-plus passing yards per game right now, statistically. I'll tell you what. I think UNLV Hawaii is going to be an awesome game.
Agreed.
First to 50, I would say in that one. So I would say that. But I just don't know if I can get over the hump and say contender for Hawaii, even though I really have enjoyed watching them play this year. So, all right, cool. Nice to break it down that way. Let's take a break. We're going to wrap up the show next here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Summer's winding down, and fall is the perfect time to get your home ready for the cooler nights ahead. At Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, we've been keeping Fresno families comfortable since 1981. A seasonal service now means peace of mind all winter long, knowing your system is ready when you need it most. When the holidays come, your home will be cozy and welcoming for everyone who walks through the door. Don't miss out on the comfort you deserve. Call Lee's Air today and step into the season with confidence.
When you think of California business machines, it wouldn't surprise me if you automatically thought 3-cent color copies. It's something CBM has become locally famous for. But now there's something else business owners are calling about: business phone systems. It's a beautiful thing. Copiers, printers, office phone systems, all with one simple call to California Business Machines. 559-225-5570 or online at cbmsolution.com.
One of the most important keys to success is teamwork. Just like the Bulldogs football team, Fresno Rack has assembled a great team of their own. An industry leader in warehouse pallet racking and industrial warehouse shelving, Fresno Rack is truly your full-service one-stop shop. In-house CAD permit department, in-house installation crews, and of course Fresno Rack's sales team is second to none. Whether you're looking to just fine-tune your warehouse and make it more efficient, or you're building a new warehouse and need a turnkey from start to finish, Fresno Rack is here to help. Call, click, or visit Fresno Rack today.
There's no such thing as an off-season. When the days get shorter and the fields aren't up to par, it's time to train smarter at Elite Performance Center in Clovis. This full-service indoor facility has batting cages, drills, clinics, and one-on-one lessons with elite coaches, former D1 athletes, MLB vets, and even Fresno State softball players. Whether it's a single lane, a private lesson, or the whole 6-cage facility, Elite Performance Center is here for individuals, groups, and teams. Find Elite on Barstow, just east of Clovis Avenue, or online at ElitePerformanceCenterCA.com. Elite Performance Center. Train like the elite.
Basketball is here at Fresno City College. Come cheer on the Rams, both men's and women's teams, two of the top programs in the state, where every game is fast, fierce, and full of heart. Don't miss your chance to see championship-level basketball live at FCC. Want to know where the Rams play next, or check schedules for other sports? Visit FCCRams.com for full fall and winter athletic schedules. Be part of the tradition. Be part of pride. Fresno City College Athletics, where champions compete and fans bring the energy.
Football season's here, and it's time to upgrade your home team's game plan with Robinson's Interiors. Whether you're hosting the big game or relaxing after a win, the right flooring can make all the difference. From durable hardwood to cozy carpet, Robinson's Interiors has the best selection and unbeatable prices, all backed by professional installation the Valley has trusted for over 40 years. So give yourself home field advantage. Don't wait for the touchdown. Visit Robinson's Interiors in Fresno and Hanford today. Robinson's Interiors, the Valley's flooring MVP.
Citrus season is here, and once again, growers are choosing orange over blue because Kubota means less downtime, easier controls, and better value through the long harvest stretch. When you're racing weather, labor, and time, uptime matters, and Kubota delivers. So, turn to Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, for the tractors and service they depend on. With Fresno and Reedley locations, Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, is ready for you this season. Visit Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, today. Online at pioneerequipmentca.com.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. You know, you just try new music, you know, here and there, and see how it goes. And
I think I accidentally clicked that song. I think I was supposed to click another song.
Was that Boston?
That was Boston.
Yes.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Neat.
We're learning things. Tanvir, you got a soccer update for us, for the people out there before we say goodbye?
Man, I want to give a shout out to the United States men's national team. They came into this game against Uruguay. Uruguay was unbeaten in the last 6 games, and the USA have been unbeaten in the last 4 games. But because of this rotated roster, I was expecting us to probably, at best, get a tie. And they have been absolutely destroying them. 5-1 lead right now with a little over 3 minutes left in the game. So they're going to win this one. And, everything to go into this World Cup. If they can keep winning, keep getting results, that's going to be the positive. They've been really good over these last couple of months.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of teams punching tickets today as well in terms of World Cup capability. A lot of European teams punching tickets today. So, we're like 7-8 months away from this whole thing going down?
It'll start in June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Would you say that the U.S. took Uruguay's lunch? Is that lunch taken worthy?
They took it friendly.
They took their lunch, breakfast, and dinner.
They said, please, I would like to take your lunch.
But meanwhile, like, they're saying, like, please and thank you and stuff.
Yeah,
but
of course.
they're just taking it.
Because it's a friendly.
This is mine now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is me, please, thank you. This is my food now. Lakers play tonight. They play the Jazz. I don't expect anything else less than a loss. They're playing good since that OKC shellacking. Is you been watching some Lakers?
I have been.
Feel good about tonight?
I do.
Yeah. I don't have time to go over the college football rankings that just came out, so maybe we break it down tomorrow. Anyways, cool. Tanvir, anything you're watching tonight outside of the soccer?
Yeah, it's just the soccer. I'm looking at North American qualifiers. 3 more teams are going to make the World Cup by the end of tonight, and we'll see. Some of these big, like, Central American teams, they might not make it. So we'll see.
Wow.
See if the Warriors can pick it up against Orlando. They're down 8 with end of the third here pretty soon anyways. All right, stay with us here on 1430. Laker basketball pregame start at 7:15 tonight from Los Angeles. Tune in then. Till then, guys, great show.
Good show, Phil. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you tomorrow.
Rising everywhere except where it counts. Pacific Steel Supply, INC.